All right, we're here with Mongooli. He's coming in for today because he's a special guest. He was. I only saw you on YouTube for a little bit. Like I didn't see you on Twitch, and then you posted up there like, "Hey, I'm gonna be jumping on. I'm gonna be jumping on Twitch soon." So there you go, boom.
Hey, there.
Like you're gonna be jumping on. You're gonna be jumping on Twitch. So let's see what he does on Twitch. It does take a little bit to get used to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm watching the stream live, and it's like, oh, that's going to be a little slow, so I might have to switch my my actual screen to see what I'm looking at. Twitch is a whole different beast, if that's what you're actually asking me about. Like, not having the safety net of editing is kind of ridiculous. But it's a lot more fun at the same time, because you get interactions in real time. So if you say something that you think is funny, you'll hear about it right away, as opposed to like, oh, I'm going to post this and see if anybody likes a comment, you know, in 5 days.
Hopefully somebody leaves a comment with it that said it was funny, because I knew it was funny, but... And then you see it and you're like, great. But seeing it here, it is only a slight delay. It usually depends on how good the bandwidth is. It's still between like 3 to 5 seconds, but then you go, oh shit, Conrad said something funny, but you look funny too. So, hey, you can go ahead and say it back right away, and you're like, boom, boom, boom. But it is a totally different beast. I'll give you that. It's...
Yeah.
Now,
out of curiosity, you've been doing it for longer than I have by quite a bit, I'm sure. How long have you been doing it, actually? How long have you been on Twitch?
I will have been on... I actually looked this up like 5 days ago. I looked it up, and I will be 3 years in, I think, right near New Year's.
Oh,
so
damn. Okay.
I
Nice.
slowly... I mean, it was very, very slow. The community was big, but it wasn't like, oh my god, this is like the huge numbers that you see everywhere else. But the community, a lot of community left because the game is just buggy. And some people stay, some people go. And now, if I had to describe it, it feels like high school. It really feels like high school. These guys are literally, we know a majority of the people in streams. And every now and then you'll get somebody new and you're like, we got to make sure we don't mess it up because, yeah, he's going to bounce. He's probably going to leave. So we should be nice. We should be very, very nice. But then there's Wonderful D, everybody else throwing up all these things and stuff. And you're like, oh, okay, hopefully they stay. And some people stay, some people go because they're not used to the raunchy content. But there are, the PG ones like Valley. Valley's strictly PG. Unless he knows about it ahead of time. And then he'll do one or two. But he likes to do it. He'll be un-PG if it's not on his channel, which I totally is like, hey, it's your channel. We do whatever you got to do, but it's on here, and I'm trying to get him on here, but...
Yeah, I would say my YouTube is pretty PG. My Twitch, I'm trying to keep, like, PG-13. Like, you might hear the F-bomb here and there, but it's not going to be, like, constant. But, like, we're on your stream now. If this is rated R, then we're rated R, You you dictate your channel.
I try to keep it somewhat professional-ish, and then somebody says something in chat, and then you're just like, whoa, okay. But, like we said before, if there's any questions you want to ask Mongooli, please pop them out in the chat, and I will go ahead and ask them. I can't guarantee he'll answer, but I will guarantee I'll ask. It's up to y'all. It really is. It's really up to y'all to say whether it is or not, so...
I feel like I'll answer most questions. I don't know which ones I won't answer. I'll know them when I hear them.
Yeah, these guys usually. You've been on Taco Stream in Discord.
I have not. I've listened to Taco Stream a couple of times, but I've not been on part of it.
Yeah, yeah. So
well, I heard your interview with Wapo, and that went interesting places. It was a good interview. I really enjoyed it, but it went interesting places.
It does, and we. As content creators, we try to have a rapport with everybody, try to listen to everybody and see what you guys are doing, thinking, whatever. But Taco his stream can just freaking make a right turn and just keep on going. And you're like, wow, okay. And he's very adamant about one question, and he wants it answered. Even if you answered it somewhere else, if he didn't hear the answer, it's like, the question was never asked. Even if somebody posts in the chat like, "Hey, he said it the other day. He's good. He's no. He's gonna answer right here, right now." Especially if you're on camera, because when he invites you to, when he invites you on for, well, he hasn't been. Has he done Friday nights chat? I know he's been in and out because of some issues but he has been streaming less and less because he's got some issues and stuff at work. But I haven't seen where he's had it with Friday nights, because usually there'd be a load of us on there, and just to talk shit. Sometimes we'll deal with game issues, but most of the time we're just, hey, everybody get around. It's great. Let's talk. And it can be an interesting time, especially when there's some animated fellows, and then you got to take a shot, depending, or a drink whenever they do something, some type of, I don't know, reward or something like that. And they're just like, we just want to get you drunk so we could ask you all kinds of questions and see what we can get out of you. Because then it becomes clips, and clips are,
yeah, that's where it's at.
They tend to last. And you're the only one on your channel that could go, nope, not having it. Nope. But then again, on Tacos or anybody else's channel, we're just like, yeah, we caught that. We definitely caught it.
Yeah.
Now,
for sure. Now, I know Run was telling me I should try and get onto Taco's channel, and I went to go watch it. I'm pretty new to Twitch in general. Like, I generally do watch more YouTube than I watch Twitch. So I was like, all right, well, I'll go check it out and listen to it. And I logged in, I think it was last Friday, it might have been 2 Fridays ago, and there was nothing. And I'm like, okay, how late does he do this? Like, what time zone is he in? Because I'm not staying up till 4 in the morning or something to watch this, but I'll catch it at some point.
Yeah, his schedule has been a little hectic with work. So with work, he's been all over the place, so he can't really do this or that or this or that, because he was usually on for at least Fridays. Friday nights, it was like, boom, we're all getting together for Friday, we're gonna have a fun time. Somebody's gonna do something stupid, or somebody's gonna get too drunk and fall over a chair, or I got sent multiple clips of a bunch of CCs twerking, so that's a nice video on my channel that I tend to play, but only every now and then. I've
seen a lot of Valley twerking in your face from time to time as I'm checking your channel in. I'm a hit and run artist. I just come in for 5 minutes here and there while I'm at work, be like, oh, what's this guy talking about now? And almost every time when I come and check your channel, there's Valley's face in your ass, or Valley's ass in your face. I'm like, okay.
It's usual for everybody. They'll just come in and be like, boom. And I was like, you know what? I got to increase the timer just a little bit of this, because I'm trying not to get hit in the face with Valley's ass, because it's just like, please don't.
Sure, and you are.
Somebody's waiting for the three-peat. They've gotten me twice in a row. They haven't gotten me for the three-peat. I'm totally making sure that I keep trying, because I definitely don't want it. I definitely don't. Now, why did you start streaming, or making videos about Marvel Strike Force?
So I started, ironically, right before COVID happened. I bought a bunch of stuff, and I was gonna make a movie podcast kind of thing with some friends. That went okay as far as recording goes, but the guy who was gonna do the editing, it was 6 months to get one video done. I was like, this is unacceptable. There's no way. So I had a bunch of the stuff just laying around. So I'd dabbled with Twitch, but never really got into it. But about a year ago, in fact, almost exactly a year ago, I was in a very casual alliance, and we were failing at really, really easy stuff. What's the event that's on right now? The alliance-wide thing where you just have to...
Oh, the ISO 8?
Yeah.
The assault?
Whatever that used to be called.
Yeah.
We weren't even getting very well in that. And it's just guys, this is really easy. Good group of people, really enjoy them, but it's what the heck? So if you go back and watch some of my early videos, it's literally me just talking to my alliance, trying to be come on, guys, if we just do this much participation, we can get to milestones 16, 17, start getting actually okay rewards. And the first 3 videos I had made, not good success, 50, 60, 70 people on them. But I was expecting 2. So it was oh, okay. And it kind of just snowballed from there. And then as I switched alliances to get less and less casual, it just kept snowballing with me. And it really just started off on hobby more than anything else. It was just, I want to convince these guys that we can do better. And then it snowballed into okay, this is just kind of fun. And then kind of life of its own. And yes, I'm still an incredibly small channel, but I'm having a great time with it. I'm meeting people in the community. Now that I'm on Twitch, I'm getting to actually know some of the faces, and I'm seeing people in the chats who are in everybody's chats. You know what I mean? You'll see the names pop up everywhere. They support everybody, and it's all right, this is actually a really cool community. I don't know what I can truly add to it, but I'm loving being a part of it. I see sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I was on. I run usually streams while I'm at work, so I can't usually join in. But there was one day where I just happened to have the day off, and I was all right, I'm going to jump in and see what happens. And it was me and Dorky and Bendy and all these guys who know the game inside and out, everything about it. And I'm just sitting back there this is fascinating. I don't know what to say.
I mean, like I said before, it feels like once you start seeing the same names over and over again, it just feels like high school. Like, oh my God, I know who's coming today. I know to be here. I know a few of them that will definitely be on. Maybe not. Maybe some of them got work, and I'll be like, shoot, I was only here for lunch. That's good. But then, boom, then you'll see the few, the proud. Then you got One Pride just coming in, just putting all kinds of emotes and stuff anywhere. Thank you, One Pride. Hero does it too. He's coming in, boom, just sandblasting the freaking thing. And it's great because you finally get to, like, talk them. And particularly Alliance is literally content creator heavy. Like, we have a shitload of content creators in there by just word of mouth. That's it, just word of mouth. Everybody, either somebody left or somebody got kicked out. I did because my Alliance, I told my former Alliance, fuck you, I'm not waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning to do war. You kiss my ass. I'm done, son, bye. And I was gone. And then we asked Juicy, like, you got a spot? He's like, yeah, come on, boom. Jumped it. And we got Hero, we got Comrade, and it's great. And it's more like we don't have to put out a lot of different content, I guess, but you can because everybody is at every different stage of the game. Like, we know Dorky, Taco, they're way the hell up here. We know they're at the top level there. And we know most of us are kind of mid-level. We're hoping to get a boom, a big drop, and we're like, yes, this is great. But we know we're not going to get it. But we're still going to play. We're still going to play. And every now and then, I'll just think of something outrageous or unique, and then I'll be like, okay, I'm going to try it. I'll make a video with it and see if it hits. And every now and then it hits, but I just keep making it because I like making videos. I like audio production. So this whole thing is like beautiful to me. Instead of just putting a camera on and going, just watch me play the game. It will be great.
And you do a great job with it, to be honest. Like, I've been bouncing around, as I say, from like streamer to streamer to streamer, and you're always got something going on. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I've ever watched you for more than like 8 seconds dead air. There's nothing happening. Like, your chat's really interactive. You've got stuff going on screen. You're talking constantly. Like, it really does make a difference when you're watching or when you're listening, because like I can be engaged, because most of the time if I'm listening, quite frankly, I'm at work, so I'm not like watching per se. I'm just kind of listening while I'm doing other things. And somebody who can be talking the entire time and not rambling, but actually saying something of value is way more interesting, right? So like, even some of the people, and I'm not going to name names, who are really, really intelligent in the space are really dry to listen to. So having somebody who knows what they're talking about and can present it well, amazing.
Yeah, don't give credit where credit is due. Just let them cure their ego by themselves. We don't need to do that. But I will say, Beta Ray Bill knows what the hell he's talking about, but he's got more money than most of the community put together. So cool. Yeah. And I don't mind taking advice from him, but I mean, the stuff that he knows, and he's tried it, and he's like, you know what? I'll help out the community. Taco too. Taco's like, screw it. I'm here. I like, he's got the means to do so, and he makes some good guides with it too. Because when we get to that point, we can go, oh my God, I could use this. But we know this game, for a lack of a better, not this game, this service, we know this gaming service doesn't really have an end unless they tell us, hey, we're closing up shop. And right now there's always new characters. So we're like, all right, cool. I got to think of the next best idea or something else. Let me use something that I think people could use based on our levels. Cause we're nowhere near Dorky Dad. We're nowhere near Beta Ray and Taco. We're down here in the slums. And then there's even slummier. And then there's the new guys, which as a new player, I didn't know nothing about YouTube and Twitch. Nothing. Yeah. So I made stupid mistakes. But then when I found stuff, I'm like, oh. But it's just good to go ahead and give any type of content because everybody's level is different.
Exactly.
Oh,
and that was what I was going to say. Like, you've got, the beta rebuilds. Like, the people who are spending a ton of money in this game, and fantastic. I'm glad they exist. I'm glad they're there. But there's a lot of people who don't want to spend any money or very little money on this game, and they need people to help them with, like, how do I get past this tiny little hurdle without just throwing cash at the game? So even though I do spend a little bit, like, I'm not free to play, but I'm certainly like free to play adjacent, I still make my content as if the people watching are free to play. Like, I don't think I've ever made a video I'm like, go spend money on this. This is worth your time. But that being said, like, there are some times where there's an offer and I'm just looking at it like, yeah, I think that's worth it.
Yeah, it's more of the, I don't want people to spend money. I'd rather you just do it with exactly what you got. And if you got exactly what I have, great. If you don't, then, well, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you right now, because it doesn't, it won't benefit you if you try this. It won't. It really won't, because all the money in the world really can't help, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, I see it. I don't know why it's desynced. It's probably because I switched the camera part. So bear with us. He's here.
I was watching Twitch while I was doing it. I've closed that. I have no idea if it's on my end or your end or what's going on. So hopefully
it might be with Twitch, the output there, because I'm listening to it here and you're speaking right on cue, but it going to Twitch probably is messing up. So it's just ugh.
Sorry about
Here,
that.
let me.
If it's even me, I have no idea.
Oh, it ain't you. I'm just gonna take it off of YouTube instead. Try that. Let's see if it goes. I'll just cancel YouTube. Screw YouTube. They're messing it up, because with Twitch it was working fine. But I don't know. I figure content for this game should just be whatever level you're at, because somebody's gonna be somewhere around your level. Not everybody's gonna be, 40 million, 30 million, 20 million every day. They're gonna progress to it and be like, all right, I'll throw something out there and I'll make a video about Greg and see what happens. And it works. It worked out because he helped win some matches, and people have Helen and Greg. It's just how is it going? How is this gonna work? Like, how can I make it work and then just film it? I am a stickler like yourself for editing. I like the editing, but if I gotta do it on the fly.
Like, I was coming to a weird realization the other day, because I was like, what can I really offer that somebody else isn't already doing? Because that's one of my biggest things, is like, I don't want to just follow in somebody else's footsteps, at least not 100%. And I was going through my channel, and like my two biggest videos are at least pretty high up. I do have one where I'm teaching people how to unlock Archangel back in the day using a minions team that not a lot of other people seem to be using. And that video did very, very well for me. And then more recently is the one where I'm literally just babbling at 3 in the morning, and that video did incredibly well for me. So it's like, all right, people are connecting with just me, and people are connecting with the knowledge that I'm bringing to the game. So I just need to put those two together a bit more, and that'll work, as opposed to, like, I'm doing a lot of like the math breakdowns for the events and stuff like that, and I do think that that is useful, and quite frankly that's the kind of content I would generally tend to watch, so I'm making stuff that I enjoy. But I need to just kind of trust the audience that, like, no, you can just do other things, you can branch out, and sometimes it hits and sometimes it doesn't, right?
Yeah, I don't know. They're saying the audio kicked out, and I'm like, no, it's like right there. I'm seeing nothing wrong on the streaming side for it. It was probably YouTube, and they're probably pissed, and they probably messed us up. So screw them and everybody about them. So la-di-da. But
that's too bad. I'm hearing you just fine. Like,
yeah, we hear each other. Okay. We hear each other just fine. It's just going through Discord, and it's, you know what? It's probably fucking Discord. This damn thing. Oh my god. I wish I could. I wish I could give them some help. Like, I'm the guy in the chair. I can help out, but you guys don't want to pay me, so I'm not helping you. Sounds like Scopely. Oh man. So, is there any other games that you stream, or that you made videos for, and was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna try it, but then you're like, I'm gonna push with MSF.
So when I first started, I was doing Magic the Gathering. I used to play a lot of Magic with friends, stuff like that, live. They just came out with Arena at the time, and it was a pretty decent system for playing online. So I tried that for a little bit. Didn't love it. Like, I enjoyed the game, but it was one of those things where, like, I want to play with friends. I don't want to, you know what I mean? It's a social thing, right? So I was enjoying it more for that aspect. So I kind of gave that up.
Eat nuts.
I was doing Snap when it first came out, Marvel Snap.
That's how you win, baby.
And it's a fun little game for a while, but it feels very samey after a bit. And they only bring out like 1 or 2 cards at a time. And it's like, you need like 50 cards. You need to really shake this game up. And instead they're just like, here's 1. Wait a couple of weeks. Here's 1. And it's like, all right, no, I think I'm good with this. And I was just watching, like, I know Mobile's been talking about it for a little bit, this Dragon Air game. but I was watching Wapo play it last night while I was at work, and I was like, okay, this isn't what I thought it was. I thought it was. I tried Raid Shadow Legend for a couple of weeks. That game is boring as shit. Everything about that game is so generic. There is nothing interesting going on there whatsoever. And for the 3-ish weeks that I played it, I think I simmed every single battle. And I was just like, I'm good. I'm done. So I assumed Dragonair was going to be kind of like that. And watching Wapo play it, it was kind of like, this is a bit more almost Diablo meets, what's that Disney game? Four Swords? No. Fire Emblem. It's almost like Diablo meets Fire Emblem a little bit. And I was like, okay, this might be actually worth checking out. So I actually just downloaded that just before jumping on the stream here. So I'll give that a try when we're done.
I saw some of it, but I was like, I did the same thing. I was like, okay, Raid Shadow Legends has been around for a good minute. They're still going. And then I watched like Sticky play it, and I was like, this kind of feels cool. It's it's progression. It's not really open world, but it's going that way. Oh, cool. You get round and round. Okay, cool. I really don't give a shit. But I don't really feel invested in the other 4 that are on my team.
You didn't want to get generic Goblin number 4?
I mean, like, I was trying really hard, but I said
generic Goblin's really good.
I just thought, like, okay, if Marvel Strike Force was Raid Shadow Legends, game would have died. We'd all be like, well, we're going to another game. Guess we're going everywhere we could find one. And I looked at Starfield, and I was getting hyped for it because I was like, okay, I like Destiny. I like Mass Effect. I like Halo to a point. I'll play it every now and then, but I'll play more Destiny 2 or something. And I was like, all right, cool. And then when I read it, it was like, there's no multiplayer function. And I'm like, but I want to kill Rello. That's what I want to do. I want to kill Rello. That's my goal. I want to slap him in the face and just murder him and be like, well, you can't murder your guy on your own team. Screw it. I'll create an animation on mine that'll show him he's dead. But I just want, that's what I wanted.
I'm with you. I liked a lot of those games you just mentioned. Like, I was a big Destiny 2 fan. I know I played a lot of Destiny 1, but I honestly don't remember much of it because it kind of bleeds into Destiny 2. But I played a bunch of Destiny 2. And when Starfield came out, I know I was watching a couple of different people playing it, and it's free on Xbox Game Pass. I was like, all right, I'll give it a try because it's free. And it very quickly became like, there's nothing wrong with the game. I just don't have time for something that big. Like, it's just intimidating how much there is to it. And it's like, I've got work, I've got kids, I've got other games. I'm just starting to get into streaming. Like, I don't know where I'm going to find 120 hours to fly around the galaxy. It seems good, and if you got the time, awesome. I'm not taking anything away from it from anybody, but it's just, I don't think
that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to do, but it's like, I just got a new schedule, guys. I can't do this anymore like I usually could do. Like Mondays, I was free. The only day I had to go into work was Tuesday. Not going to see shit on me on Tuesday, but I'll post a video too, whatever I did. Hopefully I got some interesting Cosmic Crucible kill that I could be like, all right, take this team in there. You could have some fun with it. But every now and then, either I'm getting swatted or I'm swatting somebody. But cool. Then they go, nope, you're coming back to work. Now I'm like, oh, well, wanted to try jump on another game, but it's not happening. So I'll stick with Strike Force. I'll stream maybe another game every now and then. Like, I really want to play Destiny 2 again with Hero and Rello and all them, and I want to jump on that. But it's like the time of it and what has Strike Force got? If it has nothing to do, there's just nothing to do. I'm not watching somebody watch Blitz Sim the whole goddamn time. It's not happening.
Right?
I'm not doing it.
And that's one of the things I'm running into is like, I kind of need to find a second game because there's only so much you can do in this game. I want to go live more often, have chats with people. Like, I live in a small town in the middle of nowhere. All my friends live in a bigger town. So it's like at social, it's not quite social time, but it kind of makes up for the social time a little bit, having somebody to chat with. And it's like, I kind of want that, but like, I can't imagine that anybody's going to sit here and watch me blitz for 5-10 minutes. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know. So I'm thinking I might try and get like a HD capture card and play Spider-Man 2 when it comes out in like 3 weeks or whatever it is. That's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be something I'm going to be playing anyways. So like, why not? But we'll see. That's a couple $100 investment. So
I don't know, man. I've got a nice cheap $40 capture card for the previous camera I had, and it was fine. It's just that was an actual camera. It wasn't really meant as a webcam, and my dumbass just wanted to get started. And I should have researched a little bit more, and I'm like, I'm tech savvy. I can figure this out. And I got it. But every now and then, you'll just see me like, oh, well, I'm stuck now. Now I got to fix this shit. So I was like, all right, I got to figure this out. Because I'd go halfway through a stream and something would happen, and then I'm disappearing, and everybody's just like, keep playing anyway. Fuck it, just keep going. I'm like, well, I have to roll my happy ass around this table to figure this shit out. I can't lean over the table and just press something and figure this out. I got to move. And they're like, no, just keep going. And I'm like, all right, I gotta do it. I'll spend a little bit. Sticky was nice enough to be like, get this camera, it'll look great. You can see my face now. It doesn't look like I'm on a VHS tape. It doesn't look like I'm stuttering. We don't do this anymore. And everybody's just like, oh, he's really deep. So the equipment helps, but I made sure that I started small and then just moved up. Slowly moved up with pricing wise. And then as long as I'm not pushing beyond our means, because doesn't really matter if I really want to put my foot down or not. Yeah, somebody could just tip me over and that'll be it. I got to figure out my life for the day. So I don't want to piss her off. I'll be good. We'll make sure everything's good. Make a little bit here and there. Great, we're cool. But I didn't think the MSF community was going to be like this when I first started. Because when I first started, people were around, but, you know, okay, cool. Every now and then, Mobile Gamer will raid you with like 400 people, and you're like, holy shit. Okay, I definitely got to wake my ass up now. I got to be like outrageous and stuff. And some people don't know what they're doing, or they do. And I'm like, I got to figure this out. And
my very first stream, Wapo came in with like 60 people. Like the very first day. And I'm like, oh shit, is this what it's going to be like? Nope, hasn't happened since. But that one day, it was amazing.
It happens infrequently. So like the bigger streamers, Mobile, Valley, Dorky, Taco, if they during the first maybe 20, 21, 22, if they were on, they were always on at a specific time. Because we were like in the midst of somewhat of the pandemic, they were always on at that time. And I structured my streams around one of those guys. And I'm like, all right, eventually he'll do it. And then he did it. It's cool. I met a bunch of the community. But like in the other like communities out there where they do have like 1,000 people in chat, you barely see the messages. So by the time they go down, it's like, I sent it, but he's never going to read it. He'll never see it. And it's like, oh, I really want to have, I would love those numbers, but I'd never know if One Pride was going to go ahead and say, hey man, incoming, and then it'd just be like, boom, all the way up. And it's like, oh, and then COVID hit worse. Everybody's at home. Everybody's on at the same time. And you're like, this feels like high school. I didn't want to go back, but this is okay because I don't have to see a lot of their faces in person. This is great. We all love the same damn thing. It's not like, here's people love this, here's people love that. No, we're all here for MSF content in some way, shape, or form. And then boom, they're all I would say 75% of the community is on board with some raunchy shit. And then the other 25 is like, we're just gonna lurk. I just gotta lurk I just want to see what you're about. And then they'll go for it. And everybody's got their particular niche. Kind of like Zemo.
I gotta say, you keep saying like, oh man, it's like high school. And like my brain takes that as a negative. And I'm like, oh no, he means that as a good thing. He means that as a good thing. Okay. Like, where I work, people are like, oh, this place is like high school. And what they mean is it's like gossipy and everybody's kind of like talking shit about you behind your back. So that's what I think of when you say that. I'm like, oh, that sucks. It seems so nice. Everybody seems so friendly. You're like, oh, no, that is what he means. He does mean it as a good thing. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen it. These guys they'll say it to your face. Well, they'll say it literally to your face because you're reading it. But they'll say it right there. Fuck you. You suck right now. You need to make better videos, bro. Make better. You should have never did that. And I'm like, okay, I know they're good with it. And like every now and then, you can't really dictate somebody's either emotions or feelings while you're streaming, so I can only see a chat. So I don't know if you're having a bad fucking day at work and you just go, fuck that ZKG, I hope that bastard tips over. And I'm looking at it, I'm going, well, okay. And then the next thing you know, you see like a little heart thing and you're like, oh, he's like, I'm much love. And I'm like, dude, I take it as a joke. We're here, we're good. If you can't take shit, roll out. That's it. But if you want to lurk, go ahead.
As I said, like my fairly new to Twitch, my very first stream I get rated. And one of the first things is, I think it was Prince of Peace, was like, get off this dick. Which, like, now I know is the meme of mobile. But at the time, I was just like, oh, fuck this guy. Like, what the hell? Like, you've been here for like 2 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
He explained himself and it was all good. But it was just that initial, like, what the fuck, guy? What'd I do?
Yeah, they everybody here comes in, and but it's just so like, okay, if you have that type of mentality, if you're good with taking jokes, especially really really harsh ones, the community's like, fuck it, we're sticking with you. It's going great. Boom, let's knock it. Oh, and there's Shark. When I see the name Mongooli, I think of Svengoolie. Any relation? Oh my god.
Do I need to Google Svengoolie? I'm not sure who that is.
Okay, so I know who Svengoolie is because he's a Chicago-based. He hosts like Horror Night on Channel 26 here. So he watches like the old school horror movie stuff, like really old school, 40s, 50s, 60s, 80s. He doesn't really push too much to the new stuff, but he's been a staple for a minute, and he's very PG. He's basically Valley on a video, super PG. We met him last year. When the camera's off, holy shit! As soon as the camera turns on, he turns, boom. Hello, channel. Here's the you, and we're like, oh wow, okay, that joke was funny, but you just left right away when they said action. Oh my god, this is great. But he's a staple, and he's got like a, I want to bring it up, but it's like,
I'll Google it when the show's done.
Yeah, he looks, he has like a painted face or whatever. He's old as shit, but he's just a staple here in Chicago, and people will stand in line to meet him.
Okay.
I stood in line for a little bit because my wife and daughter wanted to, and then we met him, and I was going, okay, cool, we'll meet Svengoolie, blah, blah, good, great, horrors. And then we talked to him, we're like, oh my god, this guy's cool as shit. This guy's great. It's cool. But he looks like, he's got like a weird mustache with the curls in it. He's got a painted on beard, but a little one, and it's always painted black, even though he's like 85 or 120, and he's gray, but he still colors his hair and everything, and he still plays it, but he's like a staple for horror. So if you're interested in horror, you could Google him, and he's got some. It's all PG stuff, and you're just like, oh, this is cool to like get kids into it because they still keep it PG, but then brings in like Elvira and stuff. Yeah, trying to keep the horror PG, but then there's like Elvira and stuff, and I remember Elvira. I'm never not gonna remember. Yeah, oof.
Not the most PG thoughts, at very least.
No, they attracted a lot of the youth. High school, priest, didn't matter, man. Everybody was like, wow, milk. But are you into like horror movies and stuff, or is there a certain genre that you guys you and your family usually watch?
So my kids are pretty young, so like usually if it's a family movie, it's like MCU or something. We're kind of getting out of the Disney phase finally, thankfully, but like it's still pretty PG. My wife and I, she's got a friend, and pretty much whenever the friend comes over, it's a guaranteed that we're going to order pizza and watch a horror movie. But that's pretty much the only time we watch horror. I don't mind it here and there, but it kind of has to be more intelligent than just like Freddy running around with a sword or whatever. You know what I mean? That's not what Freddy does. You know what I mean, though. I like sci-fi. I like dramas. I love Aaron Sorkin, if you know who that is. Did like Moneyball, Social Network, stuff like that. Absolutely in love with his writing. I'll watch almost anything if the mood's right, but I'm not hard into any one genre.
Where does the name Mongooli come from?
Mongooli is
good question.
So I'm a pretty big guy. Like back in high school, I was like 6'6", 300 plus pounds. And I was walking around with a friend, and he introduced me to a guy who was at least high, if not drunk, laying on the floor, looked up at me and was like, holy shit, it's a Mongooli! And it just kind of stuck. Like nobody's ever really called me it in real life, but it's always been like my Xbox handle, PlayStation handle, stuff like that. So when I decided to make a channel, it's like, I've never had a nickname. Like no one's ever called me anything but my real name more than once. So it's like, all right, well, this has been my gamer handle forever, so let's roll with it. As far as I know, it's a complete nonsense word, but the problem with it is, you know how everybody has like something they call their audience? What the hell do you call my audience that doesn't sound like they're Mongolians? You know what I mean? Like it gets really tough where I'm just like, how do you thread that needle without it getting weird fast? Other than that, it's been working out well.
Yeah, I've learned that as humans, we never get to pick our nickname, because then when it sticks, boom, everybody calls you. Somebody will say something, they'll think it's working, and boom, it just spreads like COVID. Boom, everybody says it, and you're just like, oh, okay, guess I'm called that now. This is great. I didn't know I didn't have an actual name. You know, I would like to have the name on my birth certificate, but okay, cool. I went with it. Every now and then you'd get one of them and you'd be like, oh, that's a cool name, because it fits their stature, or they fits their, something's up with their face. They either look funny or something's just not normal, and then something's just way off because of an action that you did, and you're like, wow, maybe I should have been smarter back in school, because that name stuck all the way to adulthood, and it's just it. And then I don't know what you would call my audience. I'm just ZKG or Zero Cool Gamer. That's it. It's just boom. It's it. Yeah. See, look, Wonderful D, One Pride. They're trying to come up with it, and whatever sticks, that's what it'll eventually push. And then everybody will just keep saying it, and then it'll just spread. And then you're like, well, now I got to change my intro to videos now. So, whoo.
And that's okay. Like if I can get enough of a following that cares enough to give me a name and a nickname or something like that, fucking great. That's a win in my books.
Okay, well, everybody in the damn chat, go follow this guy right now, and then go find him on YouTube. Subscribe to his ass. We got to get a name for him. The name will come out of somewhere. Somebody will get it. Somebody will come up, and it's like, boom, it'll stick. And the next thing you know, when the big content creators say it, it'll stick. It eventually sticks. And you're just like, oh, well, if Mobile said it, fuck it, I'm running with it. There's no reason not to. If he says it, yeah, just run with it. Boom, we're good. And I'm just like, oh, they did try to tell me I'm immobile gamer, and I'm like, I don't really want to push that. I don't mind it. It doesn't bother me any, but yeah, no, there's no, dude, just go ahead. Boom, that's it. But if Mobile runs with it, I'll run with it.
From the videos I've seen, you seem like a pretty open book. Is that fairly accurate? Like you'll just kind of roll with whatever?
Yep.
I have a question. If this is rude, I truly apologize.
I probably heard it.
Were you a fan of Professor X before, or is that kind of a... Like, is he actually a favorite, or is it just kind of like, well, this works?
So, hence the nickname got thrown on me once I got hurt.
Okay.
And my four best friends would constantly call me that. I mean, they would be like, dude, just shave your head and do it. Just shave your head and do it. Do it for Halloween, you son of a bitch. Just do it here. It'll stick. And I'm like, well, I've always liked hackers and I've always used Zero Cool, but I needed something different because somebody else took it. So I took that. But I liked Patrick Stewart because he was in Star Trek. So with him being in Star Trek, he went over to X-Men, and I'm like, oh, well, shit, I'm following the bald guy. And then the first thing my wife sees is when I start showing her this in like, boom, humongous content for it, because she's horror, I'm more sci-fi and, you know, comic books, action, stuff like that. She's just, she'll go with it too and be like, Professor X is there. And then it catches on with my daughter and she's just like it. And I'm like, oh my God, this is gonna never, whatever. It's cool. I got no problem with it. As long as you're comfortable with it, I'm good. And I developed a quick skin to it really quick, but I was like, if you guys are gonna tell me that I'm Patrick Stewart, fuck it, I'm good.
Yeah, there are worse things to be compared to. So you're obviously a Next Generation fan.
I have seen every episode except for Prodigy. Every episode.
Okay.
Like all of them. And I could tell you.
Is there a reason you haven't seen the one episode?
We try, and then we remember that it's for kids, and then I fall asleep because we're watching something else beforehand, or we haven't really pushed through it, and we got to have a lot of time to be like, all right, we could push this out. We'll try to watch Lower Decks, and we're like, oh, fuck, man, we're never going to get through this third season. It's going to be... And then we'll come back to it. So it's like, it's on the thing, but it's like, it's on a list of so many shows that they keep coming out with, and it's like, I really want to because I like Star Trek. I love Star Wars. Don't get me wrong, but were you more, I guess it's the age-old question, Star Trek or Star Wars?
If
you had to pick one.
If I had to pick one. Star Trek is more consistent, but the highs for Star Wars are higher. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like Star Trek, you kind of know what you're going to get, and it's pretty much good the whole way along. Or at least the series that I've seen. I've never seen the original series. I was a huge Next Generation fan. That was on when I was younger. moved into Deep Space, moved into Voyager. It's always good. Even the J.J. Abrams movies, I know they're, you know, hit or miss, or some people think they're hit or miss, but I enjoy them. But they're all kind of baseline, you know what I mean? Like they're all good to a point, but nothing really jumps out. Whereas the Star Wars has some moments that are really, really fun, and I really enjoy them. But then it's also got moments where it's like, this is borderline unwatchable.
Why? Because
It's
it's a mood thing. I don't dislike either one.
I think it was more
Did I dunk on you?
at
Because I
my
got
time growing up when, you know, elementary school, high school and stuff, I didn't have bills. I had no bills, so I could watch shows like crazy, and the only thing that had new stuff was Star Trek. Star Wars had the 3 movies.
Yeah.
Okay, we're done bitching about these. There's like, we've conversated everything. Like, there's no more details. We've conversated about the grass with the Ewoks in it. I don't know what else we can add. And then Star Trek kept coming out with it, and I always got sandblasted because all of my friends were like, Star Wars. Well, great, good for you. I really don't give a fuck. I'm Star Trek all the way, and they just kept coming out. And they try to stay consistent, yes. And every now and then it's like, oh, well, how do you guys not watch this? Like, just to make it, like, connect. Even I know that. Like, you guys really fucked up. But then Star Wars does a little bit of it, and you're like, wow, that second sequel by Ryan sucked balls. Like, it was inconsistent as fuck. Like, oh my God, why? And
yeah.
I would say that in terms of Star Wars, I would say Dave Filoni and who played Happy? Who played Happy?
Oh, I know what you mean.
Yeah, they took it. They got Mando out. It was great. Boba Fett was all right, but that was more of like, we're just gonna piggyback some stuff off of it and throw it in there. And then we got Ahsoka, and I will admit that story is what the trilogies. The type of story writing is what the trilogy should have been, and it would have been connected and great. And it's like, you got all these series in Star Wars that are all over the place, like way back then, and then over here, and then right there, and you're like, how do you connect these poor bastards? Like, everybody loves a crossover. It would be great to have a crossover. And when Boba Fett and Mando did it, we were like, holy shit, this is awesome, this is great. And to see Mando and Ahsoka, even though they really didn't do too much together, it was just amazing.
It was still really cool to see. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I've been just getting caught up on Ahsoka. I didn't watch it for the first little while, not for any good reason, just super busy. And then this past weekend I was sick, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm not doing anything else. I'm just gonna like binge all the way through it. And it's really well done. It's not perfect, but it's really well done. I'm really enjoying it. I wish it wasn't in between the 2 trilogies, because like you kind of know what's going to happen. Like, I don't know what Thrawn is going to do, but I know he's not going to survive till episode 7, right? Like, if he did, he'd be around. Same with Ahsoka. Like, I kind of wish it took place in a different portion, or if that sequel trilogy hadn't happened yet and it was kind of a question mark, like, where are we going with this? Where are we building with this? But the problem with everything being a prequel to something else, you're kind of limited in what you can do. Like, I kind of want them to go like 1,000 years in the past or 1,000 years in the future, get away from the Skywalkers, have the Force, have the universe, but just like show me something completely new that can go hard left and I won't see it coming.
what was the game that was it? The
Old
Jedi
Republic?
Order? Old Republic. There it goes. Old Republic.
Yeah.
That was set way anything.
That
I was
was-
like, I'm
and it was
interested
so
still
good.
because of the context. It was great, and I'm like,
Yeah.
they literally could just write this, just do the same thing. Just do the same thing. Everybody will be like, I'm watching it because I want to see that in live action, not in a game. I want to see it in live action. It's like, you got the blueprint right here. You could change a few things just to throw stuff up, and everybody go, oh, I wasn't expecting that. Holy shit, they changed it. And everybody be like, yeah, it's a good movie. But I know they're backed by stuff, but it's like, like, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm psyched to see who Balin is too, but it's just like Star Trek introduced time travel a long time ago, so they're like, fuck it, we could throw this out wherever. So they got to do with Lower Decks and Star Trek New Worlds, which is set 100 years before, and you're like, oh, how the fuck are they gonna do this? This one's a cartoon. What the fuck? And then they do it, and it was so beautifully written, and it was just like, wow, I didn't think they were gonna be able to pull it off, and then they did, and I'm like, wow, this is funny as shit, but it stayed true to both, and it's like, cool, this is great. Now, if they could do that in Star Wars, where they just pick a fucking time period, set all your shit there, and then have everybody jump up. What's up, Master Al? Thank you for the raid. Thank you for the raid.
Hey,
People, we are talking with Mongooli up on the hot seat. If you guys got questions, please. Wow, see? You get a shout out, and the next thing you know, right across the screen, it says, "Is it hard yet?" And I'm like, wow, that could be taken so out of context. But then again, this community, we like our funny thumbnails. It gets us going. Gets us going somewhere. But if they could connect them again with Mando, even if they brought Boba in for like a little bit, it would be like, oh my god, this is great that they're connecting stuff again, and it makes you want to watch it. It can be simply about Ahsoka, but you can throw those in there and people will be like, well, okay, I want to see them again.
Do you want them to connect all those little pieces? Because some people say that it makes the universe really, really small when you have things like Luke Skywalker be the Jedi that shows up, or like C-3PO showing up in the last episode for Leia Organa. Like, oh, it kind of makes the universe smaller. For me personally, I kind of like seeing the characters that I'm familiar with, but also it makes sense. Like in that time period, if you're gonna have a Jedi answer that beacon, of course it would be Luke. He's the only Jedi left, other than Ahsoka. If you're gonna have somebody step in and like speak to the Senate, I mean, you'd love it to be Organa, but obviously Carrie Fisher's passed away, so Anthony Davis's C-3PO is kind of your next best shot. I don't personally feel like it makes it a smaller universe, but I know that is one of the complaints that a lot of people hear.
I see it as, look, you need to, if you get the older generation that loved those 6 movies, and you get them and you slowly put them in with just a few characters that were in there and slowly move them into newer characters that are being introduced, they'll go, hey, like, I told my wife, she's like, who the fuck's Ahsoka? And I was like, she's in the cartoons with like Rebels, Clone Wars, whatever. It's a bunch of shit, but we can watch recaps and maybe it'll catch you up, but it's a lot. It's a lot. You can watch it at work. Fuck, shit, it's gonna be a minute, but Ahsoka looks really good. We should definitely watch it. And she fell asleep, but I gotta get her on the recap part of it so that way she can jump on, but we gotta wait because time. However, in terms of the smaller universe, like Star Trek did it where, okay, they brought Picard back, but they're introducing newer characters and they're trying to keep them along that way so you can be invested in these newer characters. And I want to see more of the characters that we saw at the end of Picard. I would love to see how they do on the Enterprise G, and see how that runs, because that would be freaking crazy. And we'd get newer characters. I kind of got it. And every now and then, if one of them pops up, they can still do it. Boom. It'll get hype back in there a little bit. They don't have to do too much. But it's just all over the place. You can't sit there and throw them in. Because it's like, wow, I would really like to see Ahsoka again with Obi-Wan again when he was younger. But that would be a kid. That would be at a kid point. And it's like... And it's just... I like the episode with the World Between Worlds, and you saw it and you're just like, oh, this was amazing, this was beautifully written. And you can do that, but now that they made that in there, you could bring Obi-Wan around even just for a little bit and it'll get people hyped. I was hyped for Anakin. That was great. It was beautifully written. It was like, I don't know, it was
really well done. It was good seeing Hayden Christensen again. And it's been nice to see the fans' reaction to him coming back, because he was like kind of maligned for a long time, and now he's finally kind of getting his due, where people are like, yeah, good on him, like people are cheering for him, and it's like, that's cool. It's cool to see him get a redemption arc.
I think that whole part hit where Obi-Wan slashed Darth Vader helmet open and you saw the scar and then you saw him spoke, and you're like, this is the type of dialogue you should have had for him back then. But he was a kid and he didn't give no fuck. He's like, I'm in Star Wars, big deal. Okay, I'm a young adult, great. I'm in these movies, this is great. But he just came off as a whiny little fuck. But then in Obi-Wan, you're like, wow, this is how Darth Vader should have been portrayed. I was scared of this fucker because he gave no fucks to anybody. He's just he's just snapping people's necks, throwing people around, and he's just like, I don't like you, bah. Done. And we're just like, oh, we have to fake it? Okay, cool. Cool. but I mean, 1980s effect, 1990s effects, we kind of know it now, but the way they had to do it, some of the stuff was really interesting how they got it to look visual effecty, even though it was actual in-person effects. We just didn't know about it or how they did it. Yeah. But is there any
it's kind of the magic of...
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, that's kind of like the magic with some of those older movies. Like, you go back and watch, this is gonna be a weird tangent, but like, you go back and watch something like Ben-Hur even, And you're like, how did they actually make this movie? And it actually gets your imagination going. We're like, this is really fucking cool. I don't know how you did this. I don't know how you did this in 1942, whatever the hell the movie was made. 50s? I don't know. But then you go back and watch like the prequel Star Wars, and you're like, okay, CG. Okay, CG. Like it takes something away from it, even though it looks gorgeous, or it can look gorgeous. It's just that like there's not the same magic to it anymore. But
yeah. I mean, they found unique ways to do things, and it was cool. It was great. It was like, cool, they're going to find some way to do some magic effect, and everybody's just going to believe it. And, like, I remember seeing the first Superman, and I was just like, oh, that's cool. But my dad was, like, hyping it up so much, and he just kept telling me about it. And he's like, okay, just pay attention to this, all right? There was no trailers for this back then. All it was a movie poster that said, you will believe. That's it. And you went because you knew who Superman was. You knew that symbol. And people went and you were like, this son of a bitch is flying across the screen. Oh God, great. This is awesome. And then it got better and better, but it was like, okay, if they can do that here, maybe they could do that in Star Wars and other stuff. And some of it was on par, but then some of it you were like, I know what that was. I know how you did that. And obviously, the younger generation, there's green screen, there's all kinds of newer type of effects that you can do. We could do all this shit right here, and I'm sitting at home at a desk. But, hey, it works. It gives you the appearance of it. But me trying to do this when I was in high school and when I loved audio production, because I was on the audio production side in there for video, trying to edit a fucking video for like the classes and stuff or the auditorium stuff took forever on VHS. And they're just like, you gotta back it up, slow down, back it up, slow down, splice it right, please splice it right. You're messing up. Screw it. Give me the remote. Nope, go touch the VCR. And I'm like, oh, now I could just press a button. Yay, works out great.
I wish I'd taken that. So I did a communications class, is what they called it back when I was in high school, which there was like, again, small town. We had like one computer room where you could like actually edit video in. And because we didn't take it seriously, we spent the week that we had to edit a video watching, a friend showed me Clerks and Akira. And so we watched that for the week. And it was like, that was a good week. Don't get me wrong. I still love both those movies. But I wish, like, now that I'm starting to actually get into editing, it's like, oh man, I could have been doing this 20 something years ago. Like, damn.
Yeah, there was a lot of tricks that my professor was telling me to talk about. My teacher in high school was trying to show me, and I'm like, I think they just came out with a DVD player. How's that gonna work? And he's like, fuck you, it's still VHS till the end of the year, so we don't got nothing to edit that. Don't get no ideas. And I'm like, well, I'm going to college, so can you give me some type of advice here, brother? Come on, I want to do this stuff. This is what I like, but
help me out, give me a leg up.
Yeah, give me something.
So is video editing what you actually do? Like, is that your actual gig?
No, I'm in the IT side where I work at, and we do a whole bunch of implementation and stuff like that. And like for this game, when like Tana and them get the, they do they get all the, I forgot what they call them, the data mines. I know where to look in the game for it. I know how to export it, put it out there, and we can see the files on screen and we could talk about it. But Tana's at home, he does this all day, he's built up a following, so unless I'm really not doing nothing at work and I could do it, then great, cool. But most of the time around around server resets, I could just look at the files and be like, oh shit. And every now and then I'll post them when I do got a chance, because I'm like, oh, this is hilarious. Where the hell did 10 red stars come from? Why does this node have 10 red stars? We don't have 10 red stars. But then you look at the data and you're like, oh, they're increasing stats on these fuckers on the background. So these guys are going to be huge in terms of their stats. It's going to be hard when you get to like level 40 in Sword Satellite. You're screwed. You ain't spending money, you're not getting it. But the lower levels, they're actually giving some type of gold. So that stuff interests me because I can see it. And then when they fuck up, I'm just like, I really want to go look at the game files and see why this isn't procking right or why this isn't going right. And it's like, oof, you guys are so slow. Like, just hire Hero and me. We both do this for a living. We could help you guys. This game would be great and we get a bigger fan base. But nah, let the game break. Screw it. Although I wouldn't mind another goal gate. I really wouldn't mind another goal gate. maybe a training mat gate. Training mat
Yes.
gate would be great. Training mat gate would be great.
See, I don't have a lot of gold at the moment, but it's always coming in. You know what I mean? Like it's very rare that I don't have the money I need to do something I want to do. But my God, like training materials, I am so boned for them all the time. It's just like, come on, give me an event, give me a something, give me a offer worth buying, anything. But oh, they're rough.
So is that the only bottleneck you got?
Oh God,
Or is there other bottlenecks?
That's the most obvious one, because then you can't even get your characters up high enough. Like, even if you can get your characters up to like 90, 95, even if they're only like tier 16, 17, they're still pretty good. But I'm still working towards Big Boy Apocalypse. So I've got most of my teams ready to go with the T2 level 5 ions. But I kind of burned through all of my reserves to get where I'm at. So now I'm just kind of like daily grinding away and chipping away at that. Just gear tier 18. Like I am, like you see videos of you where you're like working your way at DD6, and like I'm not even close. Like I'm not even. That's not even on my radar at the moment. I'm just like, no. We're gonna focus on Apocalypse because I said that I would, and like we'll see where we're at after that. I try to keep my arena team relevant, so I'm working on building up the new Avenger. No, new Avengers.
Secret Defenders. There's too
Black
many
Cat's
same
team.
name teams. Yeah, Secret
Right? They
Defenders.
came out with a bunch right at the same time, and I'm like, these all sound the same. Stop putting new in front of something. Make a new name. So I'm working on building them up and getting them to a point where I can stay in the top like 25 to top 50 of my arena pool, and I've been doing okay with that. But DD6 is a fantasy for now.
I mean, it's more of the I just got lucky with Red Hulk, and then I just simply focused on certain characters, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna just go straight head on to this. That's it. I'm gonna try for DD6 because hey, I doubt anybody around my level is gonna have it. It's all the guys that spend a shitload of money, but it all depends on the drops I get. Sure, I'll buy a character every now and then. I'll do it because, hey, I want to do it. I like Secret Defenders. I did like, all of them together. And Robbie is really freaking cool. But they can be beat. But who cares? Let me just max them out and go. I'll start on the next one and hopefully I can do it. But for me, I never really got to plan because chat would decide who the fuck I'm upgrading every now and then with the wheel.
Jeez.
And I was like, all right, cool. So when there's a Scourge
dangerous.
around, we're not having the wheel. So when Scourge is over, I'll bring back the wheel. You guys pop it off. Boom. I will definitely honor my oath with it and we'll do it. And then hence years ago they were like, haha, we built up Kingpin for you. Haha. Thanks, bro. Thanks a lot.
No,
this
it
is
works,
great.
yeah.
I love a G16 Kingpin right now. This is amazing. And then they did the same thing with Ultron before his rework. However, there are some others like War Machine who just ain't getting the love he needs to get from Scopely. If Armor Wars would have came out, I would have been able to laugh for a third time and be like, oh, this is great. But they moved that back, so I'm like, he's never getting a rework. He's at G16 just doing nothing. And I thought this would have been the perfect time to take him off of Power Armor and throw him somewhere else and be like, boom, here you go. He's just let him go with it. He's not doing nothing. Just like Hawkeye, he's just sitting there with a snowplow doing nothing. And nope.
On a long timeline, every character gets reworked and you'll be good to go. You just need to stick with the game for another 9 years. You'll be fine.
God, dude. I mean, like, aim, hand, they rarely get something. And I like how they buffed just Hand Blade Master just a little bit. And we're like, what the fuck did you buff Hand Blade Master for? There's no reason for this. None. Like, why? But then again, they'll do it. Obviously, Nobu, they reworked Nobu, but just used in war.
No.
That's it.
There was something on the weekly update like 2 weeks ago where it just randomly had Morbius getting like a slight upgrade. Did we ever hear what that was about or what was going on there? Because they took that down quick.
There might be so
Is this one of those things you're not allowed to talk about?
No. I seen something in the game files for it. Werewolf by Night was in the game files for a long ass time, but they just never did anything with it. I'm thinking maybe they were thinking, okay, cool, Werewolf by Night's gonna come out in the MCU. We'll try to launch it with something. Nope, never did nothing. And then it got deleted from it because they were like, no, we're never gonna do it. But he was there in the game files. Same thing with this. They're gonna probably give him an upgrade to something, but we don't know what. We thought he would have got somewhat of a good upgrade when the movie came out, but the movie just went and
it's Morbin time.
It's Morbin time going home. That's it. Nobody's seeing this. And I was so excited for it because I'm like, all right, cool. Matt Smith is in it. Let's go watch this. And I was like, wow, the writing is shit. Yeah. Sony just doesn't know how to write shit.
I think it's the only Marvel, even Marvel adjacent movie that I have not seen, and it's on home video now. Like, there's no reason I couldn't. I'm just like, I'm good.
I love Matt Smith from Doctor Who, so we were like, all right, cool, we're getting hyped for it. But I was like, yeah, we're gonna go see this. This is great, just great. And then we're just like, you know what? This is the one time in a Marvel movie that I'll let you guys talk because I don't pay attention to them during Marvel movies. If we're in the theater, they like to talk. I'm like, nope. You know what? We could talk because this is shit. I don't know what's happening here. This just feels really But you guys put this out with Sony. But hey, you need to have somebody from Marvel just holding your hand so that way you could go in somewhat of the right direction. Because these other movies are not doing anything. They're not. They're just making a little bit of money, but. How do you have a Spider-Verse?
The Venoms did okay. So I think they were just like, all right, well, Venom did well, so we'll do okay over here. And it's like, no, Venom did well because people like Venom, not because anybody gives a shit about Morbius.
Well, people like Tom Hardy, and then when they see this fucker
Also
with his shirt off, they're like, hell yeah. You know some females are going to show up for it. But the writing was shit, the introduction was shit, and it's like, how do you have this without talking about Spider-Man? Even if you do just a little bit, and then they'll give you an Easter egg, and then it'll be like, nope, we're not going to cash in on it. We'll cash in on it a little bit, maybe with Michael Keaton, but you know what? We're going to fuck that up too. Let's just mess that up. And they need to bring in some Spider-Man. And maybe I'm just being cynical with it. Maybe they were going like, all right, we're going to have a No Way Home, and we'll see how popular it is. And if it's popular, then we'll pick one of them and be like, let's throw them in our Sony universe, and maybe it'll pop off. Because people loved the first one. We all love Tobey Maguire, but that third one tanked. It just tanked. It was garbage.
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield was a different hit. The second one was like, wow. Yeah, I don't know where this is going.
You know what? I gotta say, I love Andrew Garfield. I actually really like Amazing Spider-Man quite a bit. I watched the second one in theaters, and my buddy was like, we can leave at any time. And I'm like, I gotta see the end. I just gotta stick around. I know it's not very good. I've gotta stick around. And I didn't see it until maybe just before No Way Home came out. And I was like, I don't know. I remember it not being very good. I watched it again. I was like, it's not great. It's definitely not great. But there's more going on in it. There's more good parts to it than I ever thought there was. You know what I mean? When you go into it with no expectations, you're like, some of this is actually pretty good. If nothing else, Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone have amazing chemistry. I could honestly just watch those two, no Spider-Man powers whatsoever, and be like, that's a pretty good movie. The first time when I was sitting in the theater and Green Goblin throws her down the clock tower, right? And we all know Gwen Stacy dies, right? It's inherent. I remember sitting in the theater just like, oh my god, she has to die. She has to die, or I'm gonna walk up out of this fucking movie right now. But also, I don't want her to go. I want more Emma Stone in this movie, in this franchise. They got me. I was actually conflicted about what was happening in the movie in that exact scene. I'm just like, I really want you to die, and I really want you to live, and I don't know which side I'll be more pissed off about. So I can't totally hate on it. I definitely like it more than Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, I liked The Amazing Spider-Man. I do like Andrew Garfield. I do like his work. And him and Emma Stone connected pretty well. The story was a little... but I liked the different take on it. He wasn't just this, super high school kid. Tried to be young, but we knew Tobey Maguire was old as fuck. But we'll go with it. We'll go with it. Don't worry about it. He's in high school. Whatever. Boom. And it was like, all right, cool. He's a little snarky. He's a little outrageous for this. This is great. And the CG was pretty goddamn good. The story was just a little lackluster, I wasn't believing, but I was like, wait, there's always something stupid happening with Spider-Man because they got some of the stupidest characters out there. And I was like, all right, Lizard was okay. The CG CGI could have been a little bit better, but it was okay, cool. Maybe they'll learn. No.
They took all the wrong lessons.
Oh, Jesus. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know why it went wrong or something. Like somebody didn't get the memo. And I'm like, yeah, okay. It's just boom. And then when we heard like all the stuff for No Way Home, we're going, okay, cool. And I'm like, I don't want to try to get too many rumors, but they're flooding my fucking social media shit, and I'm getting flooded with it. But you see this green screen of Andrew Garfield, and that fucker looks old. But then again, who knows? Maybe he just happened to be like that on the top of a green screen with a pole, and he just looks old. Maybe it's just his expression, whatever. And then the trailer comes out, and we're like, oh, this might actually be good. And Marvel was like, we're not going to give you Electro's costume. We're just going to hint at it. And I will admit, being in theater from like, I think Thor 2 on, was like, wow. It was definitely like, you would see the upgrade in it. And it was like, I want to get that experience of in theater and I'm going to try to make sure I don't know too much. Because when you go in, you're like, oh. And then it's usually a family thing with my parents. Close to fucking 70. But whatever. They're like, fuck it, let's go to Marvel with him. Let's go. Come on, Wheels, we're fucking going. Let's go. Boom. And we'll get the nice, cripple seats. Nobody's around us. Haha. Cool. And then boom, we'll be watching it. And every now and then my dad will be like, oh, what just happened? Whoa, why is everybody screaming? I was like, you literally missed Andrew Garfield popping up right now. Oh, and me and my brother,
that was such a good moment in the theater.
Oh, that was it was like, oh my God. And it was the one time where I got to sit next to my brother, and me and my brother were losing our shit. We were just going, oh my God, this is great. And then boom, Toby shows up, and we're like, oh my God. I'm like, if the chair could go back, I'd go. This is crazy. This is amazing. And the theater is erupting. You don't know what they're saying. And we're going like, y'all could have just put the captioning on for like 10 seconds on that part just to see him say hi.
Yeah.
Just to see him say it, because we don't know what the fuck he said.
Have you watched that movie at home?
Yeah.
Because it's hilarious, because that scene, because they literally fucking stop for applause. And so you watch it at home in dead silence, and he just like shows up like, hey.
This is what I missed.
I'm Spider-Man. And you're just like, what the hell? There's a legit pause. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Oh my God. I enjoyed it. I loved it. It was great. And then I got hurt right after COVID started. So I didn't get to see. I got to see Infinity War in theaters.
Really? I heard. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I heard you talking to Wapo about it. For some reason, it made it sound like it was quite a while ago. I didn't realize it was that recent.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, I had the accident itself 2001. Christmas 2001. That's it. But then I had to have surgery because I woke up one day and my arm is just like, hey, that's not. Hey, I'm supposed to. This was my handshake, like this. Like I'm trying to squeeze my entire hand and nothing was happening. And the lady at the hospital was like, "What do you mean you can't shake my?" Look, this is shaking hand.
I don't know.
This is this one. I don't know. This is why we're here. So we had the surgery, and I couldn't. It took maybe 6 months or so for me to get better. So I was sitting at home on a Wednesday when the movie came out overseas, and I got to watch the bootleg version of it sitting at home, which I thought would have been a beautiful moment with like her nieces and nephews, a couple of my brother-in-laws, whatever. We're all sitting here, and these fucks pass the fuck out. And then they start slowly waking up when they hear the portal scene coming on, and they're going, what the fuck just happened, and why is Black Panther and all them in there? I'm not answering shit. Shut up. I want to enjoy this. So I got to see it there, but I was like, man, could I really risk it going to the theater? And my wife was sitting there going, try it. See what happens. I'm going, fuck. So my dumbass, I got obsessed with like the audience reactions for freaking Endgame. And some of them are fucking ridiculous. Like they got, what's his name? Mr. Bean? The one with Mr. Bean is hilarious. When he's going
I haven't seen
nuts.
that one. I've seen.
Oh my God! Look for
It's like
a. No. It's like cut clips. It's like cut clips somebody put in there. So their audience reaction watching the movie, and then you just see it, and then while while Captain America's kicking fucking Thanos' ass with the hammer, you just see cut clips from Mr. Bean in like a theater with electricity and shit going, ah, and I'm like, this is fucking hilarious. This should have been in this makes the movie 10 times better. Because you're like, okay, that's lightning. This works. This works. But I was like, this is the only way I'll experience it. And then my parents were like, well, we haven't seen it. Let's go see it. And they were just like, we saw bits and pieces of certain stuff, so we already knew what the fuck was happening. It's like, you motherfuckers. I was hoping we'd at least have something to move. I could see one of you go, ooh, but nothing. And I'm like, all right. But both of them were like, I don't know how they're going to top this, because we thought Infinity War was pretty fucking top notch with that battle scene. Like, how the fuck did you get all these people in the same movie, not at the same place, but all together? Boom, they're going to go for it. And then people die. And then you go to Endgame, and they're like, wow, so that was here. Endgame is fucking here. How are you going to top it? Let's just go buy a few fucking studios. That's all we got to do. Let's just buy a few studios and knock this out. And I'm hoping at least part of the rumors are true with, you know, with Deadpool. We know Deadpool's coming. He's coming with Hugh Jackman. There's no getting around that fucking thing, because this asshole's been on every talk show boasting about it. And it's like, damn, bro, you're still fucking doing it at that age. Like, how?
I have been trying to avoid as many of the Deadpool spoilers as I can, but they are fucking everywhere. Like, you know, Wolverine's in it with his full costume. You know, they brought Jennifer Garner back. And, like, if you're bringing Jennifer Garner back, you better bring back Ben Affleck for the Daredevil. Like, I'm pretty sure we're going to get Deadpool kills the Fox universe and just go through and murder everybody and then jump ship. And why not? Like, why not bring them all back for one last hurrah? Like, what's Jennifer Garner doing that she can't come back for 5 minutes?
Well, you know, watching some kids. Oh, wait, they're a little bit grown. So, yeah, she could pop in for a little bit. I did hear the rumor for Blade, but I'm like, now you guys are really going all the fuck all over the place, because that's more Universal. So, figure that shit out. But then again, we don't know exactly what's happening with that, because they could use Hulk, but they can't really use Hulk. So, it's like, can you? I mean, I was okay with She-Hulk. That was a cool little way to fix his arm. That was cute. That was pretty quick. Like, wow, you snuck that shit in there, huh? But hey, now he's great. Cool. But if you've never read the comics for She-Hulk, wow, go read some of the earlier comics for She-Hulk. The show is like PG compared to some of that shit, because it's just wrong. Like, I don't know, man. I read a lot of the comics, so I grew up with it. So I'm like, wow, they did some of it. Cool. She's hanging with Daredevil. Yay. Wow. Ooh, walking away from that morning, huh? Cool. This is light. And my daughter's like, what's happening? So,
nothing, dear. Go away. Yeah. We watch all those shows with like my kids, and my twins are 11 now. I remember watching that one. There were certain scenes where just like, if they don't ask questions, we're not going to explain anything. Just move on.
If you had to pick a show that was the best from the ones that you have seen, which one would you say was the top
of the MCU?
Yeah, the MCU TV shows.
I think WandaVision was very clever, but I don't know that I loved it all that much. Loki was really good. As far as honestly just fun, like if I had to go back and rewatch one right now, Hawkeye was really good. Like, I liked them bringing back Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin. I didn't necessarily love how easily he got defeated by a little girl. No offense, just, you know, fact. He should be intimidating. You know what I mean? Like, he's the Daredevil. Like, he's the bad guy from Daredevil who, like, cracked somebody's head open with a car door, and then he gets taken out pretty easily by somebody on their first mission, and you're just like, all right, I could have gone for him being a bit more badass, but so be it. But that show was just a lot of fun. Like, it was really cool seeing the back and forth with like the Hawkeye being kind of the father figure, the not unrelenting, the unwilling father figure to this girl. It's like training her up. It was cool seeing the Ronin costume again. It was great. Yelena, Florence Pugh, I thought was hilarious. I thought that was a really good chemistry between them. Like, it was a really fun show. Is it perfect? By no means, but it was fun.
I like
Miss
the way
Marvel.
they did. Yeah, keep going.
Miss Marvel, we really enjoyed. It's the only thing in the entire MCU that got my kids to pick up a comic book. Like we watched that show, and my girl's like, I kind of want to actually read about this character. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'll get in on that. Like anything that gets you guys reading sounds good to me. Again, was it perfect? Not even close. But we had a good time watching it.
I think chat here would probably want Valley's twerking in your face for saying that you enjoyed Miss Marvel.
That's totally fair.
I thought it was an interesting take on it. But I know why they did it at the time, because they didn't have access to though they had access to Fox, they just weren't saying shit, and they wanted to stay away from the Inhumans, which they should have just stood with it and rebooted the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Because Inhumans sucked bad. Like, wow, holy crap. Like, oh my God.
To clarify, I liked Miss Marvel because I watched it with my kids, and my kids liked Miss Marvel. Right? Like, you're kind of enjoying it through their eyes. If it was just me sitting on my couch watching Miss Marvel on my own, I don't even know if I would have gotten all through, what is it, 6 episodes, 8 episodes?
I was like, oh, okay. But my daughter was like, oh my God, she's a teen. I could relate to it. And she was very into it. She was like, yeah, we got to watch this. We're watching it all the time when it comes on. She's like, we're staying there. Boom, boom, boom. She's in high school. And then we heard the X-Men music, but she didn't really hear it. But then I was like, you didn't hear it, did you? She's like, what? And so I just backed it up. She's like, oh. And I was like, you guys should pay attention. Like, I heard it once it did it. Like, oh my God. But it was okay for what it was. They're trying to introduce new characters. This is essentially like phase 1 again, because we didn't really like Thor. That was okay, but it was like, okay, girls are gonna like Chris Hemsworth because hey, he's walking around with his shirt off. Cool. It'll bring some seats in, fill some seats.
Yeah.
But Captain America was a little slow, but then they're like, you know what? We're gonna throw all 5 of these fuckers together. Say what? Oh wait, we're gonna throw one more in there too. He's just been sneaking around there, but whatever. Cool. And then Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. came out with it to kind of go with it, and I'm like, I actually liked Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. right after Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier made it like, wow, I really want to get with this, because now they're tying it in together a little bit. Even though it's not much, but they're tying it into it. They had like little hits every now and then, but it was like, oh, Extremis?
That was like right at the end of season 1, start of season 2, right? Like,
well, somewhere around there, and they had like an episode, and then you were like, what the fuck just happened? And they're like, they're Hydra, and we're like, wait, oh my God. Because they didn't show you it, they just had something going there, and then we saw the movie, and we're like, oh, and then they did it right there in the next episode, and we're like, oh my God, they tied in. This is great. They're finally tying stuff in. It was great, and I will agree, Ghost Rider, otherwise he would have been a whole season character. That was the big thing.
I didn't get far enough to see Ghost Rider. I made it about halfway through season 2, and then I just tapped out. It was a fine show. Like, I didn't hate it. It was just one of those like 24 episodes of a show for 7 seasons. Like, that's a lot of commitment. There's a lot of filler going on there. So I got to like it's Fitzsimmons is the 2 characters.
Yeah.
And like one of them like half drowned or something, had some brain damage, and they were just like fighting all the time. And I'm just like, I think I'm good. Moving on. But I heard Ghost Rider was really cool.
It slowly got better. Like, you could tell, because then they shortened the seasons, and you were like, oh, okay, cool, they're gonna do it short. And then I would say, like, the 2nd season, it hit a little bit. The 3rd season was like introducing some stuff. The 4th season, the second part of it was like, wow, I'm now invested because they're tying shit back into some stuff. And then the 5th season was kind of decent. We thought they were going to do something with Infinity War because they kept saying it and they kept hinting at it, and then they just said fuck it. But then it actually got better when they broke off from it, because if you just watch them, because they were smaller and it was only like 12 episodes or 13 episodes or something, it was just small. It focused on them a lot, but it just went in a different direction. You're like, I'm okay with most of them not coming back, but if you throw in Coulson and I don't know, Quake, I'm good. I'm fucking good. You could bring in Fitzsimmons, but if you don't know shit about Fitzsimmons, you're not going to get it. Yeah. But, hey, it was a decent show.
That's fair. Can I actually go back and change my answer for a second? Because I totally forgot. Now that we've actually got D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox in the MCU, that kind of canonizes Daredevil.
Yes, it does.
And I mean, if Daredevil's canonized, like, I'm going Punisher. Like, that was a good show.
Oh my God. How did you like the hallway scene? The hallway scene for Daredevil. in the first
The
season.
hallway scene in Daredevil was amazing. I thought you were talking about the
Oh
hallway
my
one in Punisher. I was like, it was okay.
No, they let
Daredevil
that
one was phenomenal.
I didn't.
It was
think
one
they
of those
were
ones
gonna
where
do
like I watched it, and like as you're watching, you're like, I need to go back because I don't know if I caught this as much as I needed to from the very beginning. You go back and like watch from the beginning again, you're just like, oh, this is fucking great. Like this is well done. This is oh yeah. I tried to get my wife into it. I'm like, you need to watch this. It's so good. And she got to like the car stomping scene, and she's like, this is a bit much for me. I'm like, I that's fair. I get it, but like, oh, can we just skip ahead? Can you just watch this one scene?
Yeah, just that one scene. You don't need to know about the show. Just know Daredevil's good, and just watch this. And then when Punisher comes around, just look, he's cool. I did like, oh shoot, what is his name? He was an older actor before. He played Punisher for the first movie. The second movie was shit. But then he did like a YouTube video type thing with it where he was in a laundromat. And that was like, this feels like old school Punisher. Like he's just taking no shit from nobody. It was a weird YouTube clip. It was like maybe 4 minutes long. But he's just like, I think he's washing his laundry or something. And then he's just doing it. And some guys are fucking with people. And he's like
really old? Like the Dolph Lundgren Punisher?
Well, no, but after it, it's
okay. So the one like
2001-ish. He was the main character in Hung.
Okay.
I can't remember his name. Timothy.
The one where like the bad guy was John Travolta.
Yeah, that actor.
Yeah. Okay.
He did it. He did the first one. The first one was all right, but you're like, is that Big Daddy cool? Okay, this motherfucker bleached his hair. Okay, whatever. Cool, but the scenes were pretty good. It wasn't a good story, but whatever. The second one came out.
Big Daddy Cool. Like, you talking Big Sexy?
Yes, well, Big Daddy Cool, Big Sexy, whatever you want to do. Wolfpack in the house. Let's do it.
Fuck yeah, it is.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Bringing back memories. Bringing back some memories.
A little bit. I didn't like wrestling for a very long period, but I really liked it when I liked it. Kind of that like NWO, WCW attitude era. Like hit me right when I was like mid to late high school. It was just like, oh, it was a good time. Not gonna lie, listening to you and Wapo talking about it, it's just like, oh, I just want to be part of this conversation.
Oh, it was so good. I mean, I was 16 or whatever, and I'm just seeing this shit, and then it just got better and better. And then every now and then, my dad was like, no, you got to finish your homework first, and then we'll watch it. And I'm like, I just got home. It's 6:30. It's about to start the 3-hour show. I ain't gonna finish this in a half an hour. He's like, you good? You watch this with us, and boom. But I would hear him watching it, and then when it finally got to like Lita, Stratus, and all them, and then he's like, I think we're gonna watch this a little bit more. I think you could sit over here and do your homework with it just for a little bit. My mom was like, what the hell's wrong with you? He needs to do his damn homework. I'm like, look, I'm multitasking. Okay.
I'm teaching him something. Calm down.
Like I'm teaching him. Boom. Like I was so excited to go home on Monday. Like I'm looking like, oh fuck, baseball practice is gonna last this. I don't got a car. Got to get on the bus. You know what? I hurt my fucking ankle. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna go home today. I got homework too, bro. But you know, I could throw it from center. We're good. You already know it. We're good. Boom. Get home and be like, yes. And then watching Chris Jericho's entrance live was beautiful. That one I remember because I was like, I think I know who it is. It might be him. We heard something, but there's no internet. We don't know who's gonna come through that curtain. Oh. He's coming out against the Rock. Oh, they're gonna try and make him big. WCW fucked up.
Yeah.
And then that whole thing. If you had to pick one wrestler that you would have been like, so I'm gonna take all my money and birthday money and whatever fucking money I get, and I'm going to a house show if possible, and if I could get somewhat close. That's what I'm doing this Monday or this some weekend with the house show or something. If there was one character out there.
My favorite's always been, and like I get it. I get that I'm gonna get nasty fucking looks for this one. I'm a huge Kevin Nash fan. I always enjoyed Kevin Nash. And I get like all the hate, like, oh, he ruined WCW and all the stuff that goes along with that. I can't help it. I liked him. I also really liked Rey Mysterio early days. And he was crazy when he first came out. Like, he would do anything off of the ropes and whatnot. So it's like, that one might be more fun to catch live because he'd just be bouncing all over the place. Probably one of those two.
Ooh, well, we got Stone Cold and The Rock. Bra and panty matches. There were some
I
of
don't
them
want to see
that
either
were
one of
good.
them in the bra and
Yeah.
panty match.
Yeah, they're not them, but the bra and panty
No.
matches, they were interesting. Those were like, okay, they're really going for this, and I'm like, wow. But we got to go maybe once with my uncle, and they were here. They were in Indiana, and we're like, all right, we'll drive over to Hammond. It's a little like local thing or whatever, and it holds like 1,000 people max. And we're like, we should be relatively close. And we got to actually talk to Randy Orton and Shawn Michaels, and we're like, oh my God.
Nice.
And then he gave my little brother, which was like tiny as shit, he's just like, here you go. And my brother went, never washing it. And I'm like, it smells like ass. But we'll put it in a Ziploc bag, and you don't touch this motherfucker.
It's amazing. We
Sweet
got
Chin
to go to
Music.
a show once. A buddy took me here in I live kind of like halfway between Toronto and Detroit, just for some context. So we went to go see a show, and it was fun. It was a good time, don't get me wrong, but it was very clear there's no cameras on and nobody is going hard. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like everybody's playing it safe. You're just like, all right, fair, but it was still fun. It was a good time. Oh, I lost you. I don't have audio.
The
for
whole
you.
show, yeah, you got it. The whole show
Okay.
itself was, they were in spite of each other. They're like, well, if you did this, we're gonna up you on this one. If you did this, now we're gonna up you on this one. And then I did like, I saw it when we saw the NWO coming together. I was really going, wow, they really did. Maybe Vince just said, fuck them, we're gonna go over there and invade these people, because Vince is a dick. He'll do it. He don't care. But then they started saying, no, it's not it, but they never would say it. And I'm going, who cares? This is amazing television. And they had you on for 6 months. And then it was like, okay, they're trying to top this. And then DX kind of came out, and now they're trying to clash with it. And you were like, well, which one do we do? Do we like the NWO? Or are we going to go around going, fucking suck it, and then get slapped by our mom for saying it because we want to be degenerates? We want to renegade. No, you ain't. Nope. But
Not in my house.
not in my. Oh no, Mexican mom. No. Well, half Mexican, half white. Mom, she slapped shit out of me. She did not care. But it was a free fall for me and my brother for a little bit. My sister got into it, and then she's just like, "Yay, Trish Stratus! Yay! Oh my God, these are great. They're cool. Okay, put on panties, son. You gotta go to bed. Huh? Go, go. You don't need to see this. You don't know what's happening. You don't got none. Go." And then boom, that whole 2 years was like a sprint to home. Just sprint, just go, boom. And was there one match during that time that you go, oh my God, I got to see it live. This was amazing.
Oh.
Well, not in person. Well, either in person or like
live.
on the
Yeah,
TV.
I know what you meant. I know what you meant. I mean, for a bad way. Fuck no. Like, okay, so the main one comes to mind is obviously Undertaker, Mankind, Hell in a Cell, right? Like, it seems like such a basic bitch answer, so I'm kind of like, all right. But like, that was incredible when that happened. And you kind of go back and rewatch it. Like, I just saw it again recently, and you're like, it's actually a pretty short match. Like, I remember it being so impactful and just being at the time like, what? And it's like, they're on top of that cage for like a minute and a half before he throws him off. Like, it's really quick. And you're like, oh, okay. Sadly, the number one thing that came to mind when you said that is like the stupid, like Kevin Nash just like, oh, was it Kevin Nash and Hulk Hogan where he pins him in like a quarter of a second? And you're just like, oh,
the finger poke of death.
WWF just won this battle. Like, we lost, guys. Pack it up. Go home.
That was so hilarious. I mean, it was funny for us, but it was like this was your downfall from doing this. It needed structure, and Vince was like, "I got structure. You guys don't. This shit's just going to shit now because you guys let everybody go everywhere." But did you ever get to see like they got something out? You could watch it on YouTube free where they actually talk about it. Where both Mankind and Undertaker talk about the whole match through, like they go through it, and I was like, "Wow, that's
the thing that I just saw recently, where they're doing like the 25th anniversary or whatever it is, where they're both sitting down and being like, "This was insane." Like Taker's like, "I honestly thought I killed you. I was just sitting up there like, move, just twitch a leg, anything. Come on, man, please be alive."
And he's up there in character, like,
oh yeah.
This guy's
Well,
dead.
because I mean, it's easy to be stoic at that point, right? Like he's not like he's there and be funny, but he's just sitting there like trying not to breathe, just like please, dear God's head, and just kill this guy.
I was just going, wow, if you have a son and he wants to do this, holy shit. And they're like, we had a match, but we didn't know nothing about it because the Undertaker had a broken ankle. So how are we going to make this a match? Okay. And this 7-foot fucker climbs up a cage with a broken ankle. Like,
Yeah.
that's dedication to the business. I'm going to go out there and put on something. I could pick you up or something. You could run to me. We already know how to do all this. But then I was just like, wait, throw me off. What do you, oh, wow. And like everybody just, it's like the whole screen just went white for like 20 seconds straight. Because back then, pictures were, boom, it was actually pictures. It was physical cameras. Ding, 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 ding. And everybody was like, he's dead. He's got to be dead. I felt bad for the Mexican table. I was like, he fell right on that guy. Like, he's gonna, his leg gotta hurt. And it was I know, there's some things I know they plan, but I'm pretty sure Vince is gonna be like, I know you wanna do this for the show, but you need to stop this shit. And like, how do you
Even
follow
when you
that?
plan for things go wrong, right? Like, there's a ton of history of things where like bones get broken, or like Owen Hart, was it? Where like literally the screen went black. They're just like, nope, gotta cut out of this. Like this is, and it's like,
when they,
it's fake, but like they're putting their lives on the line.
I think there was one. Yeah, they started doing the 5 to 15 second live thing because I was just like, okay, cool. Because I would call somebody because we were there, and I'm like, this just happened, blah 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 blah, and they're like, that's not oh, don't tell us what's happening, dude. But I'm just letting you know we're okay, bro. But it looks fucking cool. You need to come next time. But then we knew there was a delay, and they said there was the delay, and I think it was Draz or something, where he broke his neck off the top rope with a power bomb or something, and it was just like, whoa. So then they slowly pushed it to there, and then they never showed it. They always had the 15 seconds, and all I remember is just hearing, we had to cut away. Owen Hart was going to do some type of entrance, but something's happened, and they're just focusing right on, Lawler and what's it called, Ross. And I'm just like, wow, oh my God, this is like, you could see them like trying not to cry, but like they're holding their composure, and you could see everybody behind like the crowd going,
yeah, because they didn't announce anything that night, if I remember correctly. Like they're just like, something went wrong, like this is gonna get postponed or whatever, and like maybe they didn't know, but they clearly knew something serious had just happened. I
was just like, ooh, okay. And then everybody criticized them, like, the show must go on, and like people were like half and half, and I'm like, well, there is, no matter what you say or do, some people are gonna be like, okay, the show's done, that's cool, but then some people will still be like, I paid my fucking money to see a show, let me see the show. And it was actually one of the earlier matches, so it was like, wow, there's a lot of show to go through, but you could just see the stuff that was in it, and you're like, oof, like Ross talking, and you're like, he just wants to say something, he just can't.
I remember that moment, but I couldn't tell you anything else that happened that night. But like, I can't even imagine, sorry, we're bringing the show down pretty hard right now, I apologize. Like what it would be like in the locker room, or like to have to go out and be like, I'm gonna kick the shit out of this next guy, knowing that you're standing in the ring where that just happened. Be like, how do you keep your game face at all? Like it's just the professionalism of some of these guys is insane.
They ran with it, but you could tell everybody was for the next show, and you're like, wow, this is nuts. That was, and then you got like, wow, Bret Hart's on freaking Nitro, like, oh shit, like he's just gonna be done, that's it, there's no reason to use him. And he didn't even do nothing on Nitro, he just wasn't there, he was already gone. And it was like, but I don't remember anything from that fight. I remember, well, not the fight, I don't remember anything after that. Kind of exactly. I don't remember anything after Mankind and fucking Undertaker. I don't remember shit from that pay-per-view except when he fell off. And then I'm like, nope, don't remember nothing. All I know is I remember hearing Jim Ross, oh my God, he killed him. That's it, he's dead. And then I did have that on here for a while. I started using it very, very quickly. Sledge, my moderator, was very, very big on it, and he would just type in exclamation point dead, and it would come up, and it would always ding my fucking video on YouTube. So I'm like, I need to stop this, because this is just getting annoying. But everybody, like, because he was just like, oh my god, you fucking lost, and then boom, you just see Mankind getting thrown off, and he's like, you're dead. You're dead. That's it. You're done. And I'm like, okay, cool. It was a good use for it. I got a couple other ones in there, but it's like, the whole Monday Night Wars was a pinnacle for that, and I was like, man, I would be so invested. Have you saw any of the like the Vice City and behind the scenes stuff, like the dark? I think it's called the Dark Stories.
The Dark Side of the Ring or whatever it's called.
Yeah, Dark Side of the Ring, that one.
Yeah, I've heard of it. It sounds interesting. I have not checked it out. Like, as I said, like I really enjoyed wrestling from like '97 to 2001 or so, and I kind of like. Now with YouTube Shorts, I'm kind of like reliving some of that, where you get to see like just like the 30 seconds of a clip or something. But like I couldn't tell you anybody wrestling these days that's not like superstar status.
Oh no, they did one on Ric Flair, and you just go, oh, wow, holy shit. And then they did one on a couple within the Attitude Era, but it was like right before. They did a couple where it spliced into it. They did one on Bret Hart. They did one on, I think they did one with. What the hell was his name from ECW? He was an asshole, and I'm just going like, oh, he would always hit himself with the barbed wire and stuff. It wasn't Sabu, and it wasn't Terry Funk. It was it's another guy, and he was just a dick. He just did everything his own way. They did, and they do explore some of the stuff at ECW, and you go, wow. I'm surprised most of you guys just didn't die. Like WWE was one thing, and you're like, okay, they got some of this, but you motherfuckers were gonna die. Like, how did you not die? Like, some of this stuff, 4 tables up, and you're throwing it up from the rafters, and you're power bombing this little dude through it, and I'm going, I know the force of the brunt goes with your ass from the power bomb person, and you take him, so that way he doesn't feel nothing, and you're good. But that's 4 stories. Well, that's 4 tables standing up, bro. I don't know how you do it. I think they mentioned part of Chris Benoit. I don't think they did one though. I think they did. They might have, but I think there was one on there, and it was like
that's a really dark story, and it's outside of the ring mostly, and it's just like the less said of him, the better.
I know they did one. They did something short with Eddie Guerrero, and I was like, you know, when you look at it, he was pretty tiny in WCW. And that motherfucker just got jacked. And I'm going, well, The Rock did it, but he was already jacked. Then he got super jacked. And I'm going,
yeah. Well,
this is a tinier guy. Just a little bit, but he was tinier. But he could fly all over the place. And then they were like, boom. Yeah, he didn't wake up. Like, oh, okay. Ooh, wow. This is all my favorites are just like slowly going away. And it's like, I want these guys to at least get some type of retirement. I'm surprised Ric Flair made it to retirement. This asshole dropped the goddamn bottle caps. You're a douche. Fucking cat.
Oh,
she
okay.
left the cat over here. She left fucking Hydra Cat over here. That was a loud ass noise. This dumbass just like pushed him over because we have a little bucket on the side of the bar. You get your beer. Bottle cap falls in.
Yeah.
Guess he just said, fuck it. Bah. I'm like, okay. If you get drunk, that's your fault. Not worrying about you. The Eddie Guerrero Rey Mysterio art was interesting. I did like a lot of the Eddie Guerrero Kurt Angle arcs where they started all the lie, cheat, steal stuff. Oh my god, that was amazing. I was like, they're really gonna go super just stereotypical with this. Fuck it, let's go with it. And then the whole song comes in, and boom, let's have it. And I thought that was. You could say it to some of my friends.
Over the top, fun.
But fun, and it was a good story. It played for a while, and you're like, great, this is cool. But there was so many. I would have loved to see ECW in person. That's what I would have loved to see back in the day, because they were just. Is
ECW
nuts.
still around, or are they just gone now?
No, they're not around anymore. They're not.
So
they had
WWE
some good arcs,
and Impact, those are the 2 big ones.
No, well, WWE and AEW now. Impact's still around, but it's kind of like, now it's fallen into the ECW part. So, but if you had to pick a character from ECW, who would you enjoy?
Oh, I have no idea, bud. I'm going to turn that one back on you because I do not have an answer.
Well, there was a few. I mean, a lot of them went to went to they were in WCW and either they got fired or let go or whatever, and then they jumped over to ECW. And some of them were good, and they stood there because they were like, okay, I'm getting, you know, stuff and like that. But some of them were hurt, and then like ECW is like, well, just make promos. Like Stone Cold, he was fucking hurt in WCW, but he's just like, make promos and you'll do good, and everybody started to like it. But then he got sent over to WWF, and you're like, who the fuck is a ringmaster? Like, I remember you with hair, bro, but okay, it's looking a little thing. And then when he won the King of the Ring, you're like, okay, maybe some ECW people could do it, but they're not the main ECW crew. Some of the main ECW crew were nuts. Sabu always threw a table. That guy should have died like 40 years ago. He just should be dead. He would do anything, anywhere. Terry Funk, he would always have a barbed wire bat or something, hit himself. They'd have barbed wire for ropes, and they're just like, what are you gonna... Yeah, I'm good. I don't mind getting dropped on my back, but...
Some of the stuff
I
you
think
guys
I'm
sign
good.
up to do, too. Like, you see, like, the things with, like... I mean, like, it's probably small potatoes in the big grand scheme of things, but, like, where they throw, like, the thumbtacks all over the place, be like, here, powerbomb me into that. I'm like, no, fucking pass, dude. I'm good. Like, I'll go through a table, I think, before I go through that, like, thumbnail track. Like, that looks fucking brutal. At least the table's got give to it or something, but you're gonna be picking those out of you for days. Ugh,
Yeah,
no.
Oh my god, no. And I mean those three were big, and then they integrated, and then it was like, and then it kind of pushed off. And then AEW was what it was before when it became AEW. That was great because it was just strictly wrestling. It was just like wrestling. You'd have these matches, and it was awesome wrestling. And then it slowly just became like, hey, it's moving over to that WCW feel. And now we got AEW and WWE. So you got PG. Sometimes you'll see some rated R shit depending on who comes in. Like The Rock comes in and they're just gonna let him say almost anything. They can. They did. Yeah. He came on and he was just like, I don't give a shit. Call you an asshole and you'll just have to deal with it. And people went nuts. But Impact is kind of like the ECW one. It's there, just not as big as it could have been because it was getting there, but it just wasn't picking up. And I thought it would, but AEW had money in the back and everybody was like, fuck it, we'll go there too, because who wants to work for Vince? And this motherfucker is going to be selling the company, and now they're with UFC, so who the fuck is happening with this now? And
what is going on with Vince nowadays? Like, I heard that he lost the company and then he got it back and now he's been controlled, but now he's retiring for real, and it's just like, what? Like, is it just storyline or is it actually nonsense? Like, what is going on?
If anybody follows in chat, I think it's not storyline, because he did sell the company to a bigger investor company, and they have they're both entwined with UFC, so now they're all under one umbrella. But Dana White's not going to give up control of that, but he's just there with it. I mean, he's fucking rich as shit, but so is Vince McMahon. But he was making dumbass moves before the company sold. But they were playing it off on screen, and then next thing you know, like, his daughter just said, fuck it, I'm done, bye. And we're just like, okay. I see the story sometimes, but I don't know the full context of it. Somebody in chat might know, because they might watch it. Does anybody know how that's going about, like, what actually happened with it with Vince? Because sure, T-Dads would know, because, you know, he looks like he could be like fucking Earthquake or something with his beard and shit. Fucker should have... He's got a good beard. He's got a good beard. I'll give him that. You've got a pretty good growing yourself there, but I can't do it anymore. Itches like a motherfucker.
I keep like trying to grow it out just a little bit more. Like, I don't want to go full Viking, but like just a little bit more. And it always gets just like a little bit longer than it is now. And I'm just scratching it all fucking day. And I'm just like, nope, gone. Shave it back down a little bit.
So
I'm with you. I can't do it. It's way too itchy.
Oh. Yeah, it's just itchy. I don't like it. And then I'm just like, I had it long right before I started streaming. And it was like fucking long. And my wife was like, that's so sexy. That's great. It's so fucking itchy. Even as much upkeep as I can do with it, oils and stuff, making sure it's washed and clean and nice and shit. No, honey, it just looks like I'm a cat. Everywhere I go, I'm just like, no, I'm good. It's going to stay low. I'll shave it off every couple of days and I'm good. I had my long beard phase. I was good. I'm never going to be one of those, big, Buchanan type guys, because I sit down. So, hey, not happening here, but whatever. We're good. So, yeah, I figured T-Dats would know. He stepped down due to sexual harassment allegations before the sale was announced. He did an end round to regain control of the board. Wow.
Okay.
Don't you love CEOs? They can get away and circle around with anything. Jesus, I would. He could have just did. I mean, we knew there was a lot of sexual allegations with a lot of wrestlers back in the day, but it was usually just hearsay until you see it on the TV and you're like, oh well, you didn't tell Ric Flair. Yes, huh? Well, that's your problem. And then it would just slowly go away, nothing to hear about it. But then it comes out years later. But Vince was like, why would you do this in your own company? Just don't shit where you eat, bro. I know you created it. Don't shit where you
Money
eat.
solves a lot of problems, but... Or, sorry, it hides a lot of problems, I guess I should say. It doesn't solve the problems. But eventually, especially in this day and age, like, things are going to catch up with you, man. Like, you can't do that kind of shit. Shouldn't do that kind of shit anyways, but... Ugh.
I think the one quote I heard was, money doesn't buy happiness until you give it away. And I was like, wow, that's actually true. If you're doing it for just giving it away, not there's some hidden reason or something, but money doesn't buy happiness until you give it away. Just like, hey, you know what? You don't need to pay, you know what? I'm paying it forward.
That's actually pretty beautiful.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, if I had money, I would help people out. I would. Yeah. Just the ones that didn't fuck me over, because I know the ones that do. They're not getting shit. They're not getting nothing. But I did tell my wife, I was like, if we won that $2 billion lottery Powerball, I'm letting you know right now, we're buying enough real estate in enough states to make sure our great grandkids are going like, we got a yacht. I would love to do it, but it's like, I gotta start slowly.
You win that kind of money, like, you kind of gotta give it away, right? Like, what are you gonna do with that much money? Even like $10 million. Like, there's no point in me being rich if all my friends are still working on a daily basis. That's boring as shit. Like, all of you guys are retiring with me. Let's go have fun.
I told people at my job, I was like, look, I know you're, at the front desk and you do this or whatever. And you've been here for a while, but you don't have the ambition to move up. But I know you're a good person. But then they're like, no, I have, just they're dicks. I'm like, well, okay, cool. And then I found out, okay, they're dicks. This is fucking nuts. These guys have been here longer than I've been born. Why aren't they making a buttload? Why don't you ask them for help? They know everything back in and out. They might stumble a little bit on the new technologies with it, but they're at least open to it. They didn't just go, I use a typewriter, fuck this computer shit with this keyboard, not happening. Nope. And I don't know, what would be the first thing you would purchase as if you won the, let's say a billion Powerball starts, whatever. I know. Do they got that? It's something.
We
like
got
that
lotteries, but it's nowhere close to that high. It's like Lotto Max and stuff like that. Like the most recent one was like $61 million. People are like, oh my god, it's so much money. So like, if you've got $1 billion lotteries in the States, I might move. That sounds kind of amazing. First thing I would buy. I mean, the first thing I'd buy would be boring. It'd be like the house or something. You know what? Like, it'd just be getting me financially situated, like, because I'd be one of those people, like, I would want to make sure that I never go broke, because you always hear about people who like win millions of dollars and go broke like within 2 years or something. It'd be like, no, everything I need is paid off, period. As far as like the first stupid thing that I would buy, would probably be a boat of some kind. I don't know that it'd be like a, Wolf of Wall Street 70-foot yacht or anything like that, but it'd probably be something that I could take out on the water. Something I have absolutely no use for. Yeah, we got a couple of Great Lakes somewhere around me. It'll be fine.
Yeah, you got something. You could jump in. Nice 60-degree or 70-degree day and be like, fuck it, we're just going to go chill, drink some beers, and just relax.
If I'm not working anyways, and I won't be, then, might as well get a boat with a bed and just be like, all right, I live here now. This is my home for the week.
My wife doesn't like me in the water, because obviously, but I'm like, swim. They taught me how to swim in the first 2 months of me getting hurt, so I know how to swim. But I had a life jacket on, and my buddies took me on a boat. They're like, we're gonna get your crippled ass on there, and they got me on this nice big freaking boat. Put me on there, boom. I'm glad I wasn't towards the back, because when they just went floop, I went oh shit. And I was like, I was holding on, but I was like, no, I wasn't expecting it that fast, bro. He's like, we're gone. And I was like, I thought he was gonna slowly speed up like he did earlier, but no, he just said, fuck it. I'm down. Now I'm on the floor. Everybody's going, oh my God. But whatever. We get up, and then I'm going, all right, we stopped. We're cool. You know what? Let's do it. Let's go in this lake. And my wife's like, no. I'm like, you're about to jump in. Why can't I jump in? I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
you need to stay out here.
Cool down.
Yeah, like I want to cool down. Like you're like pale and white. You need to suntan. But I want to jump in. I'm hot. You already know I'm always hot. So I told my buddies, hey. Bloop. She flipped out. Oh my God, she flipped out. She's like, oh my God, he's gonna die. And I'm like, we have 2 nurses swimming here. They can swim. My buddy's in there. He's bigger than all of us. He's like, dude, you ain't gonna die. And I'm like, I'm not gonna die unless you drop me on the boat. Please don't drop me on the boat because I don't want to hit this part. And they're like, no, but they threw me far enough. We're good. So I would buy a big ass boat and just have it where we're going. You know what? I would pick a few of my buddies and just, you know what? I would still stream and I would just pick random motherfuckers for it and be like, you know what? I almost met T-Dats. I'll go drive to him and be like, dude, you meet me here. We'll have some lunch and then we'll go on the boat. This time, make sure you're by your phone. Just saying. Just saying.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think being on a boat was fun because I would always just picture motherfuckers just getting drunk there. Just, but just sitting there where there's no like connection to the outside world because you're in the middle of a lake. You're like, oh, you gotta talk to people. This is great. What's up, man? Let's go. And everybody was having a blast. And it's like, I would really love to do this once a year. And we tried to keep doing it, but then, you know, people wanted to have kids and shit and
life happens.
Jobs. And we're just like, can y'all stop popping out babies so we could at least, I mean, we could put in for a bigger boat and then we could take the kids too. But damn, dude, like, it was always a fun time. So I'd buy a boat just to bring family and friends. Like, let's go. Like, I wouldn't pay my mortgage off. That I wouldn't.
No?
Do. I would rent that mother out.
Oh, no, I want to have a home base. I'll buy other property to rent out, but this is my fucking home. I don't want anybody else in it that's not like blood related.
There's a big reason why not to, why I wouldn't. And some of the stuff that I actually learned with it on the back end, I would never do it now. I would, but if I get the chance to, if I win something, because every now and then I'll play the lottery, and sometimes we'll win a couple grand or something like that. And cool, no big deal. But if I had to and I got the money to pay off my house, I'd be like, no, we're not. And she's probably gonna be like, pay off the house. No, we can rent it out because it's our home anyway, and we can get income coming in every month. It's going to be every month till we either slowly pay it off or we can sell it to somebody else, but the value just keeps going up. I didn't think a value would go up on a nice ranch home, but you know, hey, whatever, I guess it does when you actually put work into it. So, but that's one of the reasons why I wouldn't do it, because there's a lot of tax advantages if you keep it and rent it out.
I have heard, even if you don't keep it and rent it out, just like for your credit's sake, like owning a mortgage and paying it every month is considered like good credit or good debt. Sorry, good debt. Because you're building your credit up at that point. But like you said, if I won $2 billion, if I'm winning $2 billion, I don't give a fuck what my credit is. I'm going to pay off my house and never think of it again. Like, that's just like, no, that's just one less thing I have to worry about.
That would be, yeah. I mean, the one thing I would do is probably fix up my entire dad's house. I would fix up that entire house. He's slowly doing it, but it's just like, you could see he's doing it, and he's just like, retirement's great. And I'm like, don't speak of that word. Retirement's different for you than me when I get to that point. Like, you got something called a pension. These people don't know what a pension is. They know 401k and that's shit. But a pension, wow, dude. And I'm like, I'm trying to teach my daughter to slowly focus on what certain parts of money to do it. So that way I know she's good if some dumbass is being a dumbass. Because it doesn't matter. Her boyfriend's always going to be a dumbass to me. Or husband. That guy's going to be labeled dumbass. I already got my Foyd card, so we're good. So don't have to worry about that. But he knows it. My hand controls can slip really fast. I can probably get rid of, boom. Fucking make her cry. Oh, we're going to have a bad day, bro. Bad day. Dude, I didn't even notice it was 2 hours and 15 minutes. Holy shit.
That's a good sign. That's a good sign.
Holy
I'd rather have
shit.
it be that than you being
That
like, oh
is
my God, are we
awesome.
done
That
yet?
is amazing, dude. That is awesome. I feel like it's been like 45 minutes to maybe like an hour 15, somewhere around there, because we like went through a whole bunch of stuff. But is there any questions out there you would like to ask Mongooli right now? Anything at all you can ask about him. He is big on YouTube. He is growing on Twitch, so you definitely want to make sure you watch him on Twitch. Are you at
I
affiliate?
appreciate that. I don't know that I am affiliated. I affiliated earlier this week. Affiliated? That's
Ooh,
the
there
term,
you
right?
go. Which means
Oh.
emotes, channel points.
Yes, I am slowly working on all that nonsense. I would love to talk to you behind the scenes. I don't know if we want to bore the audience with some of this technical stuff, but there's some things where I'm just like, how do you do that? Like, educate me on some nonsense.
This mother.
Yeah, I've got channel points going. I've got some emotes going. Nothing like super fancy yet, but we'll work on it. We'll get there. Just kind of building the channel up. But I mean, my goal was 300 subscribers on YouTube. My goal was hitting affiliate by October 3rd, and I made both of those goals happen. So I'm very excited. Well, you guys helped me make both of those goals happen. I can only do so much. You guys have to actually watch and pay attention and care. So thank you, everybody who's been checking me out and paying attention.
Yes, go visit. You can basically just type in the Mongooli Show. He pops up right away because that is a very, very unique channel name. He pops up. You might get a couple of little interesting videos or whatever from like the Goonies or something. That's what popped up on mine. But it could be because I look up horror shit. So that could be because of me. But he's always out on YouTube. He is, I gotta say, looking at it, the way you edit your videos is very, very well done. I'm like, that's clear as fuck. Edits pretty nicely, because I used to DJ back in the day, so when we would go to like bars or clubs or anything, and I'm just sitting there shaking my fucking head, my wife's going, what's wrong? That asshole did not do that right. That's why none of these assholes are really dancing, because they have no idea what the fuck, how to move their hips, keep them going. Like, he just switched this up. It just sounds like we want to go to sleep. Let's go. Boom. But the editing part, like, I see it for some people, but then I see it for like you, and you're like, boom, 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 and it's like, ooh, that is really good. But I always thought of like doing, like, because you don't use a green screen right off the bat. I do.
I don't.
And I was trying to fix this place up to where I can, and I'm planning to get it fixed up, but there's this fucking cat that doesn't like my bar, so whatever. But I'm sitting in the bar with the whole green screen thing, and I want to get it to where I don't need the green screen unless I wanted to do a video or something that's outrageously cool or something. And everybody could just see the bar and go, I think you're going to drink that tomorrow over there on either on Friday or a day where I'm just like, boom. Because there's a channel point that I did turn off for a little bit that would have me take a shot, and Sledge would do it a fucking lot. And he'd make me crack open a beer, and I'm like, fuck. All right, well, it's Thursday. Fuck it. Let's do it. It's Thursday, Friday. Let's drown these back. But your editing is like, I look at it and I go, wow. Wow.
I truly appreciate that, because everything, I mean, probably everybody, but like everything I do is 100% self-taught. So like, if you go back to some of those old videos, they are rough. They are very, very, very rough. So it's been a fun process just trying to figure everything out and move forward. I try to keep things relatively short. Like most of my videos, you'll notice, are like 5 to 8 minutes or so. Like I try and get in and get out. Like, here's all the information you need. I don't want to do like half-hour. I wouldn't mind doing a half-hour video if I had half hour's worth of content. What I don't want to do is a half-hour video that could have been a 4-minute video. You know what I mean? Sure. Like, I just want to, like, I respect your time. And if you want to get in and be like, okay, how many rotations do I need to do of this stupid event? Oh, I can watch this guy's video that's 25 minutes long, or I can watch this guy's video that's 5 minutes long. Kind of hurting me in the algorithm, because I'm not getting the view time as much as some other people probably are. But at the same time, if I can bring you value in what I'm providing, great. That's awesome.
I've learned that no matter how dumb some things could be to everybody else, like this, well, if it seems dumb to me, it might not be dumb to somebody else. So boom, it's just, I saw that just got to be consistent and just stay with the course. Because I've seen so many people just say, fuck it, I'm going to jump on, and just leave. and just never do it again. And they're just like, okay, well, you had some interesting content at the time because we were around the same stuff, so I was actually listening, but you just said, fuck it, I got 10 views, I'm done for this week. And then you never see them again. And I just go, all right, cool, I guess not. But I from experience, I saw, well, I love the community because the community is amazing. I didn't know they were there when I first started, so when you get thrown into it, you're like, fuck it, let's see what happens. I'm okay with it. And I never told anybody about the chair. They just never knew. And then Taco brought me on Happy Hour, and then he asked something for me to say something about it, or something about, because he knew behind. I just never told anybody. And then he's like, fuck it, tell everybody. And then I was like, oh, should I not? And then the community went in like, I can take dark jokes. So when they went off on me all over the place, they just went in all these jokes, and I said, this is great. So it was just, I stuck with it because everybody, the community sticks with you. You'll notice who's in your chat every day, comes on hard. They'll come in with something. They'll be like, hey, what's up? Juicy comes in with his little green little guy, and you're just like, oh, that's Juicy. And then you'll see Sticky, and he's popping up with freaking either the muscle guy dude or freaking Grimace, and you're like, oh, that's... And it's just like, I found consistency with it. Even though the videos aren't getting the views I would like, I've saw them slowly, gradually going up. But then I'd have to go, all right, I've gotten to the point where I got enough people, let me start making decent content. So I would go, all right, I'm going to do it consistently. Every week, I'm going to throw out Cosmic Crucible Fatalities. I'm going to do it every Friday, and people could send shit in, and then we will laugh at your apparent mistakes or your opponent's apparent mistakes, and I'll just keep doing it. And people enjoy it because they're just like, well, that guy's dumbass, so it shouldn't have happened. But then it did. Then it's like, oh, and then like I'll bring people in like, hey, if you got 10 minutes, come on in, show us what happened with you. If you got something funny, let's do it. It might be beneficial to somebody else. And it's like, oh, I had that happen in Crucible for me, or I had that happen in War for me. How do I beat it? Well, here you go. I know we don't have the same teams as Mobile or Valley, or even like, you know, Dorky and Taco, but here's mine. I'm kind of right there right now because not spending a lot, but consistency.
Well, and realistically,
having fun.
With the exception of like Super Skrull, they're pretty much all the same teams, just at various levels. So if you've got a strategy for how to beat a certain team, it's going to be the same or close to the same. Like, it all scales, right? So it kind of doesn't matter what level you're at. If you can show somebody how to beat Gamma in Cosmic Crucible, they can probably go and use their size of team to beat their size of opponent in Gamma. Like, even though we're not at, say, Taco's level in the game, it kind of doesn't matter. Like, you can still give value by showing how to do certain things if you know how to do them. It doesn't matter that your team isn't 200 million or whatever. So it's all just perspective.
It's like the 2 million teams where I'm going, you know what? I didn't T4 any of these motherfuckers today. I just they're still at T3 for some of them because I don't got the gold to keep pushing them up right now. So hopefully this works, but then you got to learn, you got to sit there and study, and it's like, pick something that you know works for you, find that niche, and just go for it. It works out great. Some people will adhere to it. Some people will say you suck. I don't care.
Sure. Going back a second, because you were talking about not getting the numbers that you wanted to get, which, I mean, I don't think anybody does, right? I'm sure if you had 2 million viewers, you'd be like, oh man, I wish I had 2.5. But honestly, would you rather, because like, there seems to be a cap. Mobile Gamer generally has like 300 to 400 people, but everybody else I see tends to max out at like 100 or so viewers, generally speaking. Would you rather have like 40 people who you know all of them and they're loyal and they're showing up every single day, or spike every now and then but be like people you never see ever again? Because like, I think that loyal fan base is kind of unreplaceable.
They aren't, because like One Pride fucker comes in here and he didn't even say hi, he just subs. I'm like, what the hell? He didn't even say hi yet. And we're like, oh, okay, cool, thank you. I'm so glad. Thank you for that. It was amazing. But it's like, okay, cool, he is a fan, he'll stay here. And there's certain days where I see it taper off, and then there's certain days where I see it go higher. But I think the game back in the day when I first started watching like Mobile and Valley, Valley really didn't stream as much. He did more videos, but then he started streaming, and it always cap out early in the morning because people are trying to go to work, and there's only maybe about 100, 200 people there. Cool, no biggie. But mobile comes on in the afternoon, and he had like 1,200, 1,500. We'd see 2,000 sometimes because it was just ridiculous. Because it would be close to patch day or be patch day, and they're like, "Ooh, he's gonna do something. He's gonna try something." With
anybody
this guy.
getting those numbers now?
Yep. No, mobile does every now and again. Whoever is on when the game fucks up, whoever's on the game, the viewers skyrocket because they're like, "What the hell is going on? And why can't I press restart? Why do I keep pressing restart and it says maintenance? What the fuck just happened?" And then boom, like with Goldgate, everybody saw something happen similar with the gold just going up. I didn't see it on my game, but I saw it because of mobile because he was freaking out. And I'm like, I'm not even streaming today. Fuck, I'm not even home. But his numbers just kept going because you just saw it and he was freaking out. Like, these guys should do it. So we've seen those numbers. It's just the loyal viewers that want to play this game, they keep playing it. And every now and then we'll get a few stragglers in and it's cool, whatever. Great, come on in. We hope you come back. But I know most of the people in my senior class and they're all here until we all graduate, which hopefully is a long freaking time. I didn't think this game would hit 5 years. I didn't think it would. With the amount of bugs, I figured it was just went, oh, well, when you roll back a game after 8 hours, then you got to compensate people
Constantly.
Oh. Yeah, and then you kicked out some people that didn't do anything wrong. Oh.
Yeah.
So
I joined this game pretty late. Like, I've only been playing for 2.5 years at this point. So I haven't even seen the heyday. And I was super casual for that first year. So I've only been actually playing for like a year and a half. So I've never seen this game in its quote unquote heyday, right? So that's pretty impressive. But like, any game making it to 5 years is impressive. Like, it just doesn't happen. Usually people just move on and go to other things.
Well, because most games have a beginning, middle, end. But this is... And then everybody talks about it, and then somebody came in, I can't remember who said it. Somebody was like, dude, this ain't a game, it's a subscription service. Whether you're free to play or not, you're paying for the monthly thing, or coming here to have a monthly service free of charge to play a game. What you do with it is up to you. And when they told me this game was resource management, when I heard that, I was like, wait, I shouldn't just be building up aim and all these motherfuckers? Oh, well, screw me, man. I could have saved a lot of time. I could have built them up to whatever they needed to be to pass a node and just call it a day. But nope.
Yep.
And then I actually appreciated Blitz when it was first starting, when I first got into the game. Because there was only like 10 teams, if that.
Okay.
So when you do 10 manual blitzes, it's like a half an hour, maybe less if you just bomb right through it, but depends on how big your characters are. I never saw 100K in a blitz for like 9 or 10 months. And I was always looking at the guys that were like, they're getting 410 shards for the new character that's coming out? Oh my god. When the hell am I going to get there? And you just did it. But it was like you had to battle it. There was no simming. You could auto, but you were like, you know what? I don't know if Deadpool's going to do it right now. I really don't know. Yeah. Thor might. Nope, he's probably going to die. And then you're just like, all right, I'm going to battle through it. You lose some, you win some. Cool. But that 2-hour marker was like, oh my god, I just finished 10. I probably got 20 minutes till the next rotation. Because obviously life kicks in the way and I can't do 10 straight. But then they started adding more teams. And I remember they said, before I came in, I think it was a 6-hour timer. Does anybody know about that? The first couple? There was like there was a 1-hour timer for a little bit, then a 6-hour or something. They had the timers all over the place. And then it started a big stink because they had like 20 teams. And you're like, by the time you manually blitz 20 teams, you're like, I want to sleep with my wife at least. I mean, come on, man. That's 2 fucking hours. And then, boom, guess what? The first team is just cycled through. So now I got to go back to that.
They're ready to go.
Like, ugh. Yep, we're ready to go again. And at that point, my wife was just looking like, really like Marvel. And I was like, you comic books, I don't know, Funko Pops, that should say something. Whatever, it's not this other game or some other game with it, but most mobile games don't live this long, and it did live long, but I think they could do marketing so much better with the Marvel IP. They could put a 15-second spot in every fucking movie or show, and this game would probably blow up. As long as they adhere to the shit that they say.
I'm kind of surprised they don't. Like, I had a buddy who got me into this game, but it wasn't something that was like heavily advertised, or you were seeing it all over the place. And like a lot of the other Marvel games that are like maybe newer or flashier just don't last that long. Like, we were talking about Snap earlier, and like, yeah, it's fun, but everybody I know who got into it really big at the start is pretty much done with it at this point, because it's like it's very samey after a while. And the one thing I actually really like about Strike Force that you don't get in Snap is you've got a goal that you're working towards for a long time. As much as everybody hated being forced to do the 4 specific teams for Apocalypse, you had a goal. You were working towards something. You had something on the horizon that you were working towards, and that feels good. As opposed to like some other games, you're just like, I'm just gonna log in, kill 5 minutes, and go back to my real life. Like, I guess if you're just waiting on a bus stop, that's exactly what you're looking for. But like, if you're looking for engagement or a community, it's nice to have goals. It's nice to have things to work towards. Like, I'm nowhere close to Super Scroll, but it's fun watching Super Scroll. Yeah, but it's fun watching other people build up and work towards it, and like work on the nodes and stuff like that. Like, it's, I don't know, it's cool. I wish it was slightly more obtainable, but you know.
So Chuck Wolf here, I believe he is the oldest free-to-play player that I know of outside of Killshot.
Okay.
You've been here how long, Chuck? He's been free-to-play forever. He has what we call a needle dick roster. So he knows exactly what to build and what not to build. He keeps it right there. Boom, this is what I'm building, that's it. And every now and then he punches me in the throat with, why the fuck are you doing that? Because this is the gear that fell in my lap. So what do you want me to do? I don't want to build Viv, but guess what? She worked out great in DD6 for global. I didn't think she would. I thought I would get smashed, but those blinds worked out great. So if you want a cheap girl to take in, maybe I should have reworded that sentence. But you want to take, Viv was a decent choice for me because it was cheap and it was quick. That was it. If I would have made an optimal choice, I would have loved to take like, who else could we bring in that's global that would be amazing in it? I would love to take Dark Beast. Dark Beast with Nemesis would have been great because I would have had a lot of assists with it. But
sure,
I just wasn't getting the gear. 2,003 days. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Oh my God, dude. I'm at like 16 something. Oh no, I'm close to 16. I think I'm like 1610 or something. Oh my God,
like 850.
dude. Oh my God.
He's literally almost 3 times as long as I've been playing.
He's been here for a minute. He hasn't spent $1, and he is just boom. And
wow.
It's good to hear from people like him because he's strictly free to play. He's not pushing anywhere, although he is limited by some of the shit that's out there. But he'll wait to get. He's not going to get Tiger for a little bit, but he'll eventually get her. Maybe every now and then. I think Chuck. Every now and then you core something, like you core a orb or something. You get lucky with it because I know people that. They'll pop out and I'll see something on it and I'll be like, oh my God, you got 180 shards out of a 675 orb. Amazing, bro. That is awesome. That is cool. I got 6. Fuck
yeah,
you.
Exactly. I'd be happy with 6 to be honest.
Oh,
I got a rough.
But is there any other questions you guys want to ask him? Oh, look, he hit 40 million TCP the other day. Holy shit.
Kudos. That's impressive.
Dude, that is... free to play. He's pretty good every now and then. You know, he's pretty good at what he's. He did say like a couple of his characters from back in the day are just level 1. He just doesn't build them. He just says fuck them. They're not gonna have long-term value, and I understand that. But I didn't know that when I jumped in the game. So I was just building up everything, and then the community slapped me in the face.
I have a bunch of characters who are like level 1 or like at very least under 40, because it was like I got to a certain point and I'm like, oh, this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. No, I'm just gonna put this guy on the back burner and move on. And I kind of played leapfrog because I knew, even though people were like, oh, this is a really good team right now, there was like on the horizon. You can just tell, like, no, like Heroes for Hire is losing value. Like they're good right now, but they're not going to be good in like 6 months. And I was like, it's going to take me like 4 months to get them built up to that level. So what am I doing? Like getting them really built up so they're good for like 2 months? Like, nah, like I'll build up Shang-Chi and the rest of that team is pretty low for me because it's just like, I don't think it's worth it. Like, they're still a good team if you've already got them built. But
yeah. Well, I mean, I knew the community. My community was the 23 other motherfuckers I'd see messaging on the bottom. And then global. And global is just a fucking, that's preschool and elementary school talking back and forth with each other. So it's like garbage. But that was it. I didn't know the community. And then when the community told me, I was like, wow, I really am good at resource management. I know what to save and what to not. And every now and then I'll just do it just because I don't care. I like a little chaos into order every now and then. But I will build up. Hey, I'll build up Doom as far as I can. I'd love to get 6 red on him, but that shit ain't coming soon. I'd rather have the 5 red on APOC. I know he's gonna delete somebody. Doom, he's tickling now. So it's like, oh, fuck, man. These power levels are just getting a little ridiculous. Just a little bit.
Doom is one of those characters where I've got him not super built, but built enough. And like, one person will be like, oh, Doom's falling off. He's really awful. Like he's no good. And you'll listen to somebody else and be like, Doom's still amazing. You need him for this and that. And I'm just like, all right, what do I do with this guy? Like, do I keep going? Do I just kind of call it a day? Like, I don't know. I haven't committed. I think he's like 85 or something. So what's that, 16? It's like, do I take him to 17 or 18? Like he's
15. Yeah, it's probably about 15 or 14, somewhere around there. But he gets a massive boost for G18. So he's not super relevant again with it, but he's there. He's not tickling anymore. And I'm like, I don't got the gear for him. Nope, I have nothing. I want to build up Robbie. Robbie looks fun as shit. Like, let me build up Robbie. Or I could build up Doom, but I really like Doom. Like, give me a character. If there was a character that you could have in game, what's the character or team
that is not currently in game?
Yeah, not currently in game.
Null was the first thing that came to mind, but I think that's just because people are talking about him. He's on people's lips, but I don't know if that's actually somebody I care about. I'm a big Nightcrawler fan. I'm surprised he's not in the game yet, but at the same time, I don't want to build him up because it's just more fucking mutant stuff. And it's like, no, like, give mutants a break for a little bit. You know what? This is a terrible answer, but at the same time, I just love the design of the character. I want to see Kane. I know we've already got like 48 different Spider-Mans, but I've just always, like, that was when I started getting into comics and like buying them myself, was during that whole awful period. But like his design back in the 90s is just one of those things that's like, that's just cool. And like, I part of me knows that it's lame, right? Like, I understand that it's actually pretty lame, kind of like the whole Scarlet Spider where he's just wearing like a jumpsuit, ripped off shoulders. But like, I still just think it's cool. Like, some part of my brain is still like 14 being like, this is amazing. I want to give somebody the mark of Cain. Like, that's probably the one that I would wish for, because I don't think it'll ever happen. Like, Nightcrawler's going to happen. MODOK is going to happen. Null is going to happen. I don't know that we'll ever see Kane.
I mean, come on, Phantomex? Fuck did he come from? Fuck did he come? We're like, oh shit, they just threw a code on Bullseye. Fuck that. That's all they did. They just threw a code on Bullseye. However, if you build him up, we have seen him delete an APOC, and it's like, oh, well, yeah, but are you really going to spend all that mutant shit on fucking Phantomex? No.
Not if I don't have to.
Just the one guy. Yeah, if I don't have to. I feel that Nightcrawler is probably a break glass in case of emergency character.
Okay.
So I feel the game goes to shit. Everybody's like, oh my god, we hate this. And then they go, hey, guess what? Next patch, there's another creepy mutant that's coming out, or somebody that comes out. He could teleport all over. People will lose their shit. They will lose
the Excalibur
their
pack.
Something. I mean, there's a lot of. I look at the files in there, but it's like, hey, but they never show up because they either don't got the rights, or it was a cool character to build back in the day, but you know, we're not going to go further with that. Or Marvel tells them no, just no. So, and we know they plan 6 months. in advance, which is why Apocalypse sucked monkey nuts when he came out, and we're like, yeah, that was, why is Weaver better than him? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't
And we
know.
all just got a free 7-star Weaver, and we've been working months for Apocalypse.
Look, I was supposed to put the decimal point right where it was supposed to go, and I just happened to move a little bit, and boom, everybody got it. Whoever was online at that point, and I mean, wow, I have never seen so many people go, claim that now. Yep. Go now. And you're just like, I have a buttload of Ultimus credits. Like, oh my God, yeah. Why? Why is this happening? Why is this happening? So
the decimal point was right. The item was completely wrong, because it was supposed to be like shards of something or whatnot, right? Like it's one of the things that's in the battle pass every single time. But it was just like, oh no, here's 5,000 Spider Weavers. Cool.
I'm pretty sure they copy and pasted, and they didn't copy and paste who they were supposed to and what it was supposed to do. And then boom, next thing you know, 4,000 shards. Holy, oh my God! Everybody was just like, get it, and then you just next thing you know, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna build her up. Oh, what maintenance? What the hell? All right.
I was messaging people I knew who didn't even play the game anymore, and I'm just like, just in case, just sign in for 2 minutes, just in case. Like, I know you're not playing right now. You might play in a month or two. Like, you want this, I promise you.
It's a maxed out character. Somebody messed up. The guy in the chair messed up again. Damn him. But thank you. Everybody spread it. I've never seen that just go around. It was just like, boom. And then they come back and they go, yeah, we made a little mistake. Just say you fucked up. Just say you fucked up. We're giving you shards. We're good. Here you go.
Like, okay, that one's obviously a fuck up. But like every now and then, I kind of look at Scopely and be like, just take the win. Like there was what was it? The T14 and T15, like 2,000 orbs
40
of them.
million orb fragments.
Yeah, for like 20 bucks.
Yep.
And they're like, oh, we really fucked up. We're so sorry, but we'll give it back to you guys. So you can just, hey, 4th anniversary, congratulations. Here's a good deal for you. Like, just take the win. Like, it doesn't have to be a mess up every single time. I know that it was. Put a smile on your face and just suck it. That sounded dirty. Never mind.
It's okay. It's okay. We're good for that. I mean, I saw the offer and I was like, I don't know. Everybody's like, just buy it. They might just take it down right now. We were on stream and I'm like, fuck it, whatever, boom. And I bought it, and then we're just looking like, that says 40 million fragments. These are never gonna be depleted. Never. And then they go, oh look, you can open up a bunch of orbs now. It's a little faster than you just going doom, 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 doom. But it'll get done.
I bought that instantly, and I was sitting there like doing this for a little bit. I'm like, I don't even care. Nope, I don't even use gold anymore. Moving on. And now that they've got the feature, I'm just like, yeah, I could open all of them, but I don't even care enough to do that. They're still just sitting there like 20,000 something.
Oh, it was supposed to be 2.5 orbs worth of gold orbs. Wow. Yeah, it just stood that. They just said, screw it. We're not going to copy and paste the next character and the next little thing or the next little featured item. Here you go. And then, wow, it was just boom. There you go. I don't think I've had to use. I don't think I have been depleted in orange gear for a long time. Long time. And it was like, wow, that's a good 20 bucks. Don't really like spending in a game, but you know what? That's a good 20 bucks. Not bad, not bad.
Sometimes I don't actually mind, like for the amount of fun, free time, whatever that this game has given me over the past 2.5 years. Like if I give him 20 bucks, like I think of it like this. Sorry, a friend told me, and now I think of it like this. Like back when I used to play 360 games before I had a family, I would easily drop $80 to $200 every single month on buying new games. You play them for 10, 20 hours, beat them, sell them for 20 bucks. Like you're just hemorrhaging money being a video gamer, right? It's kind of the same thing, except for I've been playing the same game for 3 years. So if I give them 20 bucks a month, I'm actually still saving money by not spending all of that money on other video games that I don't have time to play anyways. So it's like, sure, I'm giving Scopely money for this broken game, but like I'm getting some value out of it, so who cares? Like I don't know. I don't like pay to play. Like when they kind of be like, okay, you have to unlock this character to even get this game mode. That sucks. But like the pay to win thing is like, yeah, you're a business. I get it. You have to make the money where you can, and some people have the disposable income to do it. So be it. I don't have that much money, but I'll give you like 20 bucks here or there.
I think it's more like I saw that offer and I was like, if I try it, if I start spending, I'll do it. But I'm like, I'm gonna buy other video games anyway, and they'll just end up being like you said. You run through them, you beat it, and some of the games like Destiny or something, you could play with friends and stuff. But it's like, okay, it gets a little bit old. I want something new character in the game or whatever. And they update it with some stuff, but not a lot. But the game is still freaking amazing because it looks good. But I'll be done with the in-game story content until they update it. And sometimes a lot of these games don't update it. And by then, it's the 2-3 year mark and they're done. And I'm like, well, I just spent $60 on this game. I can spend $60 here and I know I'll be playing it for a while. I'm not gonna not go into Strike Force and tell people to go fuck yourself because I built Viv and you didn't. Too bad for you. That's great. It's your choice. But it's my freaking choice to build this. And la-di-da. I know it sucks, but she worked for me. I would love to get Super Scroll, but facing a Super Scroll, holy shit. I finally went up against somebody that had one. And I don't understand the way of thinking, but whatever. He did it. He was 65 million. I'm 42. I lost. I got my ass beat. That was just wrong.
When you say you don't understand the way of thinking, you mean like spending that much money to get that character at this point?
If I figure if somebody in your alliance by now hasn't told you that there is an online presence with this game in terms of Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, something where you could find some type of content to help you roll through a team or two, I would say use it. Why would you not? If you don't have Apocalypse to use on your side because you threw his ass on defense, why the fuck wouldn't you bring in Skrull with Secret Defenders to take out Secret Defenders and APOC? Makes no fucking sense to me. None.
Gotcha.
Sus is gonna go and just slap the shit out of all of them. And it's going to be funny. But he used them on an easy team. And I'm just like, really? You went that route and it took you 3 times to tap my room 6, but it took you once to do this with... Why? I don't understand it. And it's like, you look at some of them, that's why I like Fridays. That's why I'll do that Fridays. I'll look at dumb shit and be like, this we need to laugh about because they don't know. Or they just don't care. They're just high spenders and they're in it to win it. That's it. And that's
I was just about to say, like, just because you can spend money on the game doesn't mean you know how to play the game.
You can have a really nice car, but the driver is really the one that makes the car. If you don't know how to drive, that car's going to go into a wall, and you're going to be like, damn, I should know how to use the clutch, but what does that third little thing do? But
I secretly love little videos like that on YouTube where like you get somebody in like a super nice car and they take off out of the parking lot and instantly wreck it because they have no idea how to drive a car like that. And don't get me wrong, I would be that person, but I'm not driving a supercar. I would get in a car and be like, yeah, let's punch it. Like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, money doesn't equal skill, Baka. And you sent me something. I don't know. What is that a breakdown of? Like cost per orb or something? Or per... like the battle pass and the people, like something with it. This is the funny part. I've never come into a game where we do fucking spreadsheets. I've never saw a game do fucking spreadsheets that just do them like hand on foot. Like, okay, next event's coming out. We're doing spreadsheets and shit. I'm like, I look at these all day at work. I don't want to look at this shit. Just tell me whatever you got. Put it in a nice little thing there. I'll take the infographic. Call it a day. Other than that, nope.
And see, I like that kind of stuff because there'll be too many times where if I'm not paying attention, I'll be like casually playing on a Friday, and then by the time the event's closing out on a Tuesday, I'm like, I'm nowhere close to this. How did I get myself in this position where I can't possibly beat this event now? But it's like, okay, if I take a look at this on Friday, I'm like, all right, I need to do like 4 rotations of Blitz, and I need to make sure that I use this special team in a raid. Okay, I can figure out how to do that. That's fine. I get that it's weird to do all that homework for a video game, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I kind of like it.
Certain people want to do it. Y'all can do it. I'll do little things. I'll help you out with certain simple stuff, but everything else is like, I want to, but I look at this all day at work. I do not want to do all of this again. It's just, I love the background of stuff. I love Excel. I love, Google Sheets and shit like that. And sometimes I like messing with it, but if I got to do it at work today, I don't want to do it in game. I just want to come in. I want to know my team that I'm going to do. Let me see the speed. Boom. I'm knocking it out. And I'm just going, yes, I won. Or, oh my God. I lost. I got my ass beat. So whatever. But I'd rather just play. I think we need the sim button was good to a point, but it takes away from the fun of actually battling, which is why I like Crucible, because you have to battle. If they took away the auto button, people would be like, "What the fuck?" You gotta play, not sim, play. Which is why I don't. Are you in favor of teams that beat raid nodes?
Like a very specific, you have to use this one team and nothing else will get the job done?
Let's go. Rebirth, Invaders, okay. Bifrost. Now they gave us Pegasus.
I am not the best at theory crafting, but I like it when it's an option. You know what I mean? Like, I don't love it when they just, here's a problem that you can't beat. Oh, and here, look, we're going to give you the solution to this problem that you can't beat. There's no inherent fun to that. Like, I like the character collection aspect of the game, so I do enjoy that. But, like, I would love to be able to be like, oh, you know, I really like Kingpin. I'm just going to build him up and take him into a raid that he has no place being in, and he'll do fine because I built him up way bigger than he should possibly be. I would like to have that aspect in the game, so I'm going to say no. But at the same time, there are times where it's like, yeah, no, it's fine to just hit the sim button because I've got 5 minutes before I want to go to bed, and I just want to make sure that I've got all my raids in so my alliance isn't mad at me. So, like, I wish there was more theory crafting in the game, and that's why I'm actually looking forward to, like, Tower returning, whatever they're calling it this time, like Shield Carrier or Helicarrier or whatever it is.
Sword Satellite.
The Satellite, yes.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that. Like, I think that'll actually be pretty fun. There are times when I just want to get the tasks done, and I don't mind there being a sim button, just being like, nope, moving on. The blitz you were talking about earlier sounds fucking miserable. So I'm very glad there's a blitz button, a sim button.
I am, and then I'm not. It's kind of like, okay, because back then you had to grind in blitz to get certain milestones, and it was okay, but you knew the grinding part. You could pay the $20 to skip the event and just have all of it, or you could grind your eyes out. And okay, cool, I just have to blitz a little bit. I'll wait for 2 hours. I'll cook some food. Look, babe, bye. And then I'm gonna blitz again. And then boom, I just had to freaking go. Like blitz, and do some raids and great. And then you beat the event and you're like, wow, I actually feel like I accomplished something because I did it myself. I didn't just say, here's $20 and go along. I don't care if people can do it, but I wanted that sense of I did it myself. Not because I opened money, but that's fine. I just didn't want to do it. And that was... When I first heard of BKT in Ultimus, I was like, wow, this should not work just by characters, but the kits, I get you now. I understand it. And it was bonkers, because then you're just like, those Ultimus teams were just getting lit up. And you're like, okay, every now and then the auto wouldn't work, but as soon as you give energy out, boom, 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 Rocket's just firing off and just going, oh, this is great. The animations for Rocket and Groot were great. I'll put it on 1 for a second. I'll leave it up. Oh, I feel great. I went through the raids and it was great. But I would rather them give us characters, not tell us that we need them for this. Let us figure it out like you did. If we have to build up somebody to G18 to build this raid, and once you get there, great, cool, but don't tell me I have to buy it to sim it, because it's more like you're telling me that I can beat it with this thing, but I want to figure out how to do it. And granted, we see all the content and stuff out there, but maybe it's that one day I just didn't give a fuck and didn't look online, and I just beat this. This is awesome. But I'm a content creator, so I'm gonna go ahead and make a video about it. But if I didn't, I'd be like, oh, this is great.
You know what's one thing in the game that I actually wish would do better, had more of a point, is the real-time arena. I haven't touched it in quite some time because there's just no reward to doing it. But back when because doing the real-time arena was one of the ways you could unlock, not the battle pass, but like the arena pass or whatever it's called. And so I would do that because it's not blitzing at least. One of the features in that, from what I remember, is it was like Arena, except for they would randomly take out characters you're not allowed to use. And so if you did Arena like that, where you're just like, okay, no Apocalypse, no Black Cat, now what's your team look like? So you can still use some of the new people, but you have to kind of like, okay, well, now I have to pivot. Like, what am I going to use if I can't use this extreme meta team? Because right now, like, pretty much since I started getting serious with Arena, it's always been mirror match. It'd be really nice if it was like, okay, we know you all like these characters. For this week, no Apocalypse, none of this. You have to try something different. And the next week, all right, here's your Apocalypse back, here's your Black Cat back, but now you're not allowed to use Red Hulk. And it'd be an interesting game mode to be like, okay, well, what can I use of what's left that's actually going to make this work without making the character invalid?
Well, I mean, they could do it, like, but people just, one, they didn't advertise it well enough, and nobody liked the option for sitting there and selecting characters. It took forever. I was okay with the time because it was like, I'm facing a real person. I'm not facing the AI. I know what the AI is going to do. I have no idea if he's going to do special, alt, or basic. I have no idea if he has that option to do it. I have no idea, but they said, screw it. We'll push it to the side. And then you just saw it go up to the top. The game files are still there, so they're still going to use it. I just don't know what they're going to change it to. It would be nice to theory craft. I would love theory crafting to push back like a lot to where we got to go, oh, well, we just can't use this one team against this, and it's going to do it all the time with the newer teams coming out. I'd rather have 2 or 3 characters come out and go, oh, you can't use this. You got to sub in somebody anyway. Even if they got the full 5-piece, it's not going to work because they do something that's either stupidly random or just says, screw you, you're done. And it would be... I know it sucks because, like, the whole Kestrel thing, they're like, wow, just negated Phoenix. Like, fuck you, Phoenix. We know you're super powerful in the comics, but haha, no more. I mean, they should really, really change. The tech should have changed on that, but it was just like, wow, Kestrel is plug and play. How did she find S.H.I.E.L.D. and not have the S.H.I.E.L.D. tag? Still make any fucking sense. So, I don't know. I would love the theory crafting to come back because I want to be able to go, okay, cool. If I get sim it, great, but unless I build them to a certain point or something like that, and like they got to be maxed out to the max, I could bring this other couple of characters in here, and they're not fully maxed, but they actually go around it if I use certain mechanics to maneuver around whatever they're doing. The full team will definitely do it, but I won't get there. And it was cool, like I said, with the BKT team for Ultimates raids. It was like, oh my god, this is amazing. I gotta build them up, and they were cool. You love the animations, but I don't know. I love like, theory crafting.
Again, I'm not good at theory crafting, but I enjoy it. And it's one of those things where, like, the community will figure out what the best team is pretty quickly, even if Scopely doesn't just straight up hand it to us. But it still will feel more accomplished to be like, oh, we figured it out, than just be like, here it is. Like, enjoy your new team that's going to destroy everything. Like, I don't know. I understand from their perspective, they want to sell new characters. And the only way to sell new characters is to make the new characters stronger, or at least the best way to sell new characters. But again, I want to just like, I like Daredevil. I wish I could build him up and not feel like an ass for it. You know what I mean? But like, he's sitting at level 1 because he's done literally nothing in the 3 years that I've been in this game. Even when they brought out the Shadowlands team, people were pretty much like, don't bother. Like, just move on with life. So it's just disappointing in that way.
I think if it was, I want characters that I really would like to use and be like, boom, Kingpin in the Doom skill nodes. Once you built him up higher enough, you were like, holy shit, he could do some damage now that he got the rework. And it was like, yeah, it's cool, it's great. And then no, not once you get to like Doom, Doom 2. Whatever, boom, he's not doing it. He's kinda, but he's not. You got to use the invaders because they're going to be used on the next one. Why are you telling me what to use now? Like, it just felt like we knew it was coming, so it was like, oh, okay. And they could punch up pretty high, and it's like, I don't feel like I earned it. I think that's what it is. I want to feel like I earned it. And the theory crafting gives me time to earn. And sometimes Scopely doesn't want us to earn it. They just want to earn our paychecks. That's all they want to do.
Yeah, no, that's for sure.
But it's been, holy shit, it's been 3 hours. Fuck. We blink and another fucking 45 minutes blows by. Holy shit. All right. I'm going to go ahead and start rapid fire questions with Mongooli.
Oh, sure.
If you guys got any questions, please post them in the chat right now. We'll try to get through most of them during the rapid fire questions, but I want to make sure that, yeah, it's been 3 fucking hours.
I closed Twitch when the stream wasn't working very well. I don't know if that had any impact or not, so I haven't been paying attention to chat.
I think it was the OBS and the other side of it. So once I stopped, they said the audio sync fixed. So I stopped recording, and I'll just take the YouTube video and just cut that.
Fair enough. Have people been leaving questions?
Huh?
Have people been leaving questions or?
Well, whenever they ask one, I would answer it. But I ask you it, but they haven't been asking too much, which is weird. There's 38 of you motherfuckers in here. Say something. This guy is here. Ask him something. Just say something. But here, fucking Baka. So there you go. Bam. They were gonna ask you eventually, do you eat? And I don't know why. People like to know this question, but I just don't know.
I figured that was coming. I heard that from the other hot seats that I've watched. No, I don't. But I mean, my wife would not be into it. But if I was with somebody and that was their thing, who knows?
Mm-hmm. Oh, look, there's
in the heat of the moment. What the fuck? But no.
Yeah, whatever.
As of right now, in the last 40 years, no.
Oh, well, Killshot said the beard is too clean. The beard's too clean. Shit. What do you mean? What's your video? What do you mean, support dingoes? What do you mean? Why do you hate people in wheelchairs? He does it. What? You're starting a chair riot? What's wrong with you? I think if he hated me, he wouldn't jump on the channel. I think that would be it. Like,
did I say something that came across that way? Like,
no, you know, the community. There's always somebody.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
There's always somebody. Like, I keep I want to invite Killshot, but he just doesn't pick up the phone. So whatever. What flavor milkshake? And hopefully it's not purple. Because of the whole, did you guys hear about the whole purple milkshake TikTok thing on Instagram or whatever, where people were drinking the Grimace milkshake and just like dying and showing
I have heard a ton of stuff about Grimace in the last couple of days. I have no goddamn idea what the reference is about.
Oh god, my daughter showed me it. I was like, oh, this is fucking hilarious.
Is this something I actually want to TikTok, or is this something just stay away from?
I'll let you know right now. You jump on it, you might get a little and I'm like, nah, I'm good. Okay. I'll just stick with Instagram and look at Benny Westside's Instagram stories for MSF. I'm good with that. Other than that, no. Because some of the TikTok ones come out and you're like, I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask for this. No way, shape, or form. What's your favorite video, Mongooli? You mean favorite show, favorite movie? Where is that? Like, what type of, I guess,
favorite video
genre? Yeah.
That's a very broad question. I'm not 100% sure where you're going with that.
Yeah, that's why I was like, let's get a little bit more clarification on that. Just a little bit more clarification. So that way we could ask them. Fried okra, boiled peanuts, or grits? Ooh.
Probably grits.
Ooh, I can't stand grits. Can't.
I don't know that I've ever had boiled peanuts. That doesn't sound appealing.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good. The fried okra I had, it was okay, but
I mean, let's be honest, none of those are on my menu. But like, if I had to choose between the three, like, all right, I guess we'll go grits. At least I know 100% what that tastes like.
Oh, here
we don't do grits up in Canada.
Yeah, but you guys do bags of milk.
Yes, we do.
Understand that shit? We do. I don't get that shit for the life of me. I feel like I'm gonna grab it and it's gonna break.
There's special containers you put them in, so you're fine.
Wait, you take it out of the bag, put it in the container.
No.
Just buy one with the container.
There's like a cup container. It's not a cup, but like, go with me. Where's the camera? There we go. And you put the bag milk in it, so like the top half of the bag is sticking out, and then you just snip an end, and then you pour the bag like that, and then when you're done, you just throw the bag out. And do I need to go upstairs and grab one?
No, we've been making fun of Dorky Dad with this for a good hot minute because he keeps saying, you guys have bags of milk, and we're like, what the fuck is a bag? We have a gallon of milk in a plastic container that we will recycle. For some people, I'll do it, but some people just don't give a fuck. But I'm like, if I pick up, I gotta take it out and put it in something else to use it. I mean, like, that's, but yeah, I'm
creating work for sure.
Yeah, it's creating more. I think everybody's got their own little standoff on it. It's okay. Yeah, we know he's Canadian. It's okay. Yeah, a gallon pitcher. Oh, we did. We asked this question earlier, Trevor. Who's the 1-2 you hope comes to MSF?
I'm gonna go with Kane again, just
Yeah,
because I think
wants-
he looks cool.
That's a very, very obscure character, but it'd be awesome to see something obscure, and hopefully his kit's like bam. We need something that's game breaking that just goes, wow. We really need to build them up and don't put them on a team. Make them just like Quicksilver and don't have too many tags. Just plug and play.
That's what I'd actually
Figure it
like.
out.
Is just more plug and play characters. Just like not ones you have to spend like months working towards, but just somebody who just comes out and be like, here you go. He fits everywhere. Go, enjoy.
Oh, Dorky was drinking the bag. Oh yeah, Dorky was drinking a bag of milk, and everybody in the States was like, "What the f is going on?" We're just going, why is this? It's like
100% did that to bug you. Nobody actually just
Yeah, he
drinks
did.
from a bag of milk.
We're like, but he described just like you did. You put the bag of milk in a container to use it somewhere else, and we're like, if you bought it in a gallon, you just open it and then put it into the cup and you're done. Oh wait, you close the thing and you can reuse it and it's done. You don't have to cut the bag of milk. He's just like, you guys don't know. It saves so much. And we're like, we're just fucking with you. Calm down, bro. We're not trying to take something from you. It's okay. Like nobody here has control of whether or not the country can use a bag of milk. It's okay. What's your favorite video what's the favorite video you put up on your YouTube channel after almost a year of doing the YouTube? There you go. Oof.
Okay. I see, the problem is most of my content is very like, it's got a really, really short shelf life, right? Like it's whatever's happening this week in Marvel Strike Force. So probably the video of how to unlock Archangel. Like, not only is it done the best for me, but it's one of those ones that's actually like lived on longer than 1 week or one event, because every time that Scourge comes around, it pops again and gets another couple hundred views. So that's one of the ones that I'm actually really happy with. And honestly, like, it's such a stupid little video, but the one like 2 weeks ago when they took the late night rambling, if you saw that one, this is a really weird thing to compliment yourself. Like, this is not how I'm wired, but like, it's honest. And while I'm not saying it's great, and I'm not saying it's like, oh my god, it's the best thing I've ever made, but it's like, that's probably the most me I've ever been on my channel. And so the fact that it was just like, here's just raw emotion, here's just me talking for a couple minutes, and people responded really, really positively, that felt really good. Like, it wasn't like, I'm going to teach you how to do something. It's just like, no, this is just me hanging out with you for 5 minutes. Middle of the night, I process out loud. So like, when something's bothering me, I kind of have to get it out. I can't just stew on it. And my wife was asleep, and it would have been really fucking rude to wake her up and ramble at her. So it was like, I'm going to go downstairs, I'm going to talk to the computer, and maybe I'll just delete it when I'm done, or maybe I'll put it out there. And honestly, like, I put it out there at like 4 in the morning by the time I was done editing, went back to bed, woke up at like 6:30, and it had like 5 views. And I was like, yeah, that checks out. Like, that's probably as good as that video is going to do, and move on with life. And then by like noon, it was like, my phone was like ding, 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 as like people were leaving comments, people were viewing it, people were like subscribing to my channel and whatnot. It's like, that felt so good. Like, the dopamine hit from that was just insane. I don't hear you. You're muted or something. I got nothing. Nope. Is it on my end? If you can hear me, I can't hear you. There's something going on.
Oh, my bad. I thought I must have hit it when I turned around. But check out Mongooli's channel right now. I put the link in the chat, so make sure to catch it right there. Click on the link, give him a sub. If you want, join him. Make sure to go follow him on Twitch. If you want there, sub him on Twitch. Oh, I might this question. Oh God, all dressed ketchup or salt and vinegar chips?
Oh, it's not even a question. It's all dressed. In my youth, I loved salt and vinegar, and as I'm getting older, it just tears my mouth up. So I love the flavor of them, but I can only have like 4 before my mouth is just raw. I don't even remember. Was it ketchup was the other option? Like,
yeah,
there's a spicy ketchup out right now by Miss Vicky's. Do you have Miss Vicky's?
No.
Okay. So it's like a kettle chip, and it's a spicy ketchup, it's pretty tasty. But in general, all dressed is just the way to go.
So cleaning
I didn't know
agent,
you guys didn't have that.
No, cleaning agent. We sent each other some food, some delicacies
I saw that.
here, some delicacies there, and yeah, I tasted all dressed. It was all right. It just is not my cup of tea. It's really not my cup of tea. Salt and vinegar, pop that, man. I'm down for it. Give me that. The ketchup ones weren't bad. I thought the when I opened them,
Ketchup sounds
the smell,
worse than it tastes.
Yeah, it sounds worse than it tastes, but the ketchup ones, they were just it was more smelling than it was the flavor. I was like, oh, I could eat these. And I ate the whole fucking bag, and I'm like, and my wife's just looking at me like, why would you, why? I was like, Canada? I mean, if I have a hot dog with chips and the chips fall in the ketchup that I have sitting right there, I'm gonna eat the fucking chips either way. It's just, that's overabundance of it, but these are flavored with it. She's like, you're crazy. Yeah.
So now, okay, do you not have salt and vinegar chips?
Yes, we have salt and vinegar chips.
Oh, okay.
No,
I knew you didn't have ketchup.
No, I've never, we don't, there was ketchup out, but it didn't fare well. I saw it for a little bit and it just disappeared. I've never seen all dressed. So when he sent the bag, I was like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, all dressed, don't you like it? And I was like, we don't have this flavor. We have crazy ass flavors like barbecue cheddar with some onion or something with it. And he's like, yeah, well, all dressed. It's like all of them put together. And I was like, it's overpowering everywhere. And I'm like, I'm gonna eat the ketchup chips. They were great. They were fucking good. And I was like, ooh.
I remember going to Michigan in like 2005-ish. I'm just gonna ballpark that, and going to a Walmart, and it was like, it was really, really weird because like as far as chip flavors go, you didn't have half the stuff we've got, and it was like, this is so weird because then you go to the pop aisle and you've got 50,000 varieties of pop, and we've got like 9, and it was just like, what is going on here? Why do you, like? I would have thought you'd have more of both, and it was just really weird that you were like crushing us on pop or soda, whatever you fucking call it down there. But like chips. Sorry?
Depends on the side of the country. In the Midwest, you could do pop. Lower South, it's maybe pop soda. California and that side, the West Coast, they call it soda. And depending on the East Coast, they might mix and match or say pop soda or soda pop. And they're like, you gotta say it. And if somebody comes here and they go soda pop and you don't say it back, they're like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And then we never knew what a basket of fries was, and we're just like, what the fuck is a basket of fries? It just said it there, and I'm like, is that a really big bag of fries? Like a fucking big thing? And I'm like, well, let's just use logic. And they don't say large fries, they say basket. And that basket of fries in the South was fucking huge. And I'm like, this is what supersized used to be back in the day when they started using that shit. Like, no, we're good. Let's just get medium. We're good. But we got Kroger here, which I'm close to. You can't see it because it's green, but I have a lemon lime soda, so we go for the generic brand instead of like 7-Up or Mountain Dew. So we'll get all those generic ones. Mountain Dew would be citrus drop, and we got zero sugar because, well, my family don't want to get fat, so whatever. But I burn it all off, so I don't give a fuck about them. They can drink that shit. I'll drink stuff. I go in between, and then like cherry cola. And we got we got some cool flavors that can do it, like strawberry soda. There was one strawberry cream, orange cream. That tastes fucking great. It's the clubs. There's like a vanilla club soda, and I can barely find it sometimes at like a Mariano's or something. I'm like, fuck that. I'm taking every fucking case because there's only like 4 here. Fuck that. I want to taste that. And like, oh, I remember stealing these from my dad because he's like, don't touch the case. These are not yours. And you're like, oh. Crush. Yeah, Crush. We had Crush too. But he did say you guys don't have a lot of pops because of the actual ingredients like yellow 5, red 5, all this shit we shouldn't be putting in our bodies that fucking US is just like, fuck it. I mean, big deal. So what? Have a heart attack. No big deal. Screw yourself. Whatever.
We got enough citizens. It's fine. Yeah, we can lose one or two. Replace. It's okay. Yeah. The one, like, we very rarely will get vanilla Coke. And whenever I see that shit, it's just like, I will take all of that, sir. Thank you very much. But then it just disappears for like 2 years, and it's like, oh, I have to make this last.
They were only allowed to import it for like a good second. You better grab all of it. Just see it, grab all of it. It's like, oh. And I was sitting there asking him, like, is there certain stuff I can't send? Because they'll send this shit back. And he's just like, as long as it's pre-packaged from somewhere, you'll be good. And I'm like, okay. He's like, don't send that shit on a napkin with a fucking, you know, zip tie around it or something. You know, they're gonna be like, fuck you, no. And I was like, that's not how I sent my package to you. They retaped that bitch. So, and they didn't retape it on his side. He's like, that's exactly how I sent it. Like, US didn't give me no fucks. They're just like, no radioactive shit. Oh, we're good. Whatever.
No.
Cool with there.
It's not a bomb.
Ooh.
Who cares?
Yeah, not a bomb. Who cares? You're good. You're good. But let's get to rapid fire questions. We'll knock that out. 10 quick questions, and the community could leave some shit on your YouTube videos or your Twitch channel and just say, ha, I don't agree with you. You suck. Which will probably be Killshot and Chuck because they like.
Hey, any engagement is good
engagement.
engagement.
Rosters. Yes. Unless it's fucking Rello. Yeah, fuck Rello. All right. Which moon bitch? Moon Dragon, Moonstone, or Moon Knight?
Moon Dragon.
Oof.
Just one of those teams that just will not die.
Which firefucker? Pyro, Human Torch, Sunfire, or Firestar?
Oh, fuck me. In this game, Firestar, but my heart goes out to Pyro because that stupid miniatures game I play, he is fucking incredible. So, like, I just always think of him, but it's like, no, that's a different game. That's a different system. That doesn't work.
All right. Dorm or Doom?
Dorm. Mine's just better built up and he's just stronger.
Ooh, this one's... I didn't notice the value out of this until I built both of them up. Nova or Quicksilver?
Nova's so good on his team, but Quicksilver's amazing everywhere. My Quicksilver's not as high as he should be, but I'm working on him. I didn't appreciate him when he first came out, and now I'm like, oh, I'm paying the price for that one. I need to get him up there. Quicksilver.
Yeah, one of the guys that stays around Fly High, he's like, you gotta build Quicksilver. And I just stood around. I was like, man, I'm not, no, I can't. I'm barely getting the shards for him, and I don't have nothing to build him up. And then I built him up, and I was like, holy fuck.
How good can he be? They're giving him away for free. He's obviously trash.
I would have gated it a little bit less, maybe like, 20, 10, 5 shards and stuff like that. Give it little by little so people can move him up, but not like 50, 40, 30. Here you go. You're going to have him at 7 in like a couple weeks. I know some of the lower leagues won't, but it's like you're giving those top 10 players, like have them play the game for longevity, but that's Scopely. They don't fucking listen. Which is the more niche character, Zemo or Noir?
More niche? I mean, Zemo's far more useful, so I guess in that sense, yes, Zemo.
He's niche. He's niche. Fuck all y'all that said he wasn't. He's niche. I got confirmation. Boom. It's done. Done, son. Mr. Negative or Kingpin?
Oh, Kingpin. Mr. Negative's good in game, but my God, I love Kingpin as a character. He's one of those guys that I just, like I said to a buddy before they got the rework, like, I want to just build Kingpin. I know it's stupid. I know he's useless. I just want to build him. And then like 3 weeks later, they did the rework, and I was like, yes, I have a reason.
He's good built. I mean, he's still good. And those freaking summons are fucking annoying as shit.
Oh.
They could be annoying when they're built. And it's like, oh my God. But if you got it, if you're going against somebody that's at least a punch up, you're like, oh, but still, they take the brunt of it.
They take the brunt, yeah.
They take the brunt of it, which is good. I'm going to give you a couple costumes, and then you tell me the best out of a few of them. I'll give you like 4, and then you tell me which one you think is the best one in-game, in your opinion.
Okay.
So we'll go with Doc Ock with the No Way Home costume that he got.
Yep.
We'll go with Apocalypse, which is just go. I don't know why they did that bullshit. That was just stupid. Let's go with Cyclops came out. That was a beautiful costume. Yeah, that was good to work for. What the fuck was that? Castrol.
I actually like the Castrol one.
And Shield Medic.
See, the Shield Medic meme was before my time, so I had no appreciation for that character. I'd go Kestrel based entirely on luck. Actually, Kestrel basically on everything. I think I would prefer her of that group. The Cyclops one is almost a reskin. Like we have another costume that's almost identical. I'm like, what was the point
It's just
of
they
this?
changed the color a little bit. You didn't give nothing new to it. Like, okay, this is garbage. But if you go check out Shield Medic, look at what he's doing right there on the character select screen when you click on him and look at it, and then look who his lover is. You'll see
it's Deadpool, right? He's got Deadpool on the
he's got
table.
Deadpool. Yeah. Well, that's because in the first videos it was Kevin, and then it was, oh shit, when did Kevin get tits? This was Kevin for the few videos. I mean, come on, man. We got Drax on he's talking to us. All right, we got Batista. Great. And then next thing you know, boom, and we're all like, I don't know what happened, but I don't think we could say anything. Like, what are we to question? Whatever. And then they bring that one out, and I'm like, oh my God, that is an awesome Somebody had to get some high approval to put that in there instead of just going, well, we'll make him a guy. Nope, let's put him in a desk, and he loves it.
Sorry, I appreciate that they did it, but it's one of those things that just feels way too late to have any relevance. Like if you did that like 2-3 years ago, you'd probably have people who actually care.
Yes.
But like anybody joining new is like, all right,
okay,
whatever.
Because they
like I understand because I've seen videos, but exactly.
Yeah, they don't know the videos. They're like, wait, they made videos? Like they had Batista in, he was voicing one. Ryan Reynolds voiced it for the game. Like, why didn't it continue with that? Like, you could give some, but no, you guys send out videos every now and then, and it's cool to see them in 3D and stuff and doing stuff, but how about if they talk? They like, you threw in some MCU guys, but then you were like, fuck it, whatever. Doesn't matter. All right. I'm not going to give you too many. But which Spidey? Spider-Man, Miles, Symbiote, Scarlet, Ghost Spider, Punk, Weaver, or Big Time? Oh, it's been reported.
I'm not going to give you too many. Names all of them. We're talking about usefulness in-game?
Whichever character you like in-game.
In-game. Did you name 2099?
No, I didn't. Holy shit. Okay, 2099
then I'd probably go Ghost if he's not on the list.
Ghost was pretty good.
I haven't built up
the
Infestation. I skipped Infestation, and then I ran into one in War recently. I'm like, oh shit, do I need to build this? Like,
Jonathan, thank you for the sub, man. Thank you for the sub on YouTube. Good. All right. Which is the best opening taunt? Drax, Sticky, or Red Guardian?
my Sticky is the highest built, but I feel like for my team it's Sticky. But I feel like when I go against Red Guardian, he survives longer than the other two do. Like he's just more of a pain in the ass.
He does, and I'm like, why? I built up Sticky to G17, yet no, he dies. Red Guardian's like 150k, and he just still gets boom, boom, boom. And
he just gets the job done, and you're like, why?
Yeah. Oh my god. All right, best ping. And this is kind of encompassing a lot of shit, but when you see the characters, you'll be like, okay. So AA, BB, Deathpool, Gambit, or Kestrel. We'll go with them. I'll give you 5. I won't name a shitload more.
Probably go Gambit. I don't know if that's the right choice or not, but
I didn't see the value of it when it said 180% piercing, but when you get him from G17 up and you're trying to get him to G18, that damage increase from that ping just says fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, and you're like,
it's just constant.
I should have did it. Yeah, it's just constant every turn you take, and then if you, that's one of the worst people to take summons with, because you're gonna have a bunch of summons going, and you're like, he's just gonna keep going.
Just go stun this fool. More and more.
Just stun this fool, blind him, do something. And the last question, what is the best finisher in game? We have Hela with the spikes coming up from the top, from the bottom. All the spikes coming in. We got the Icarus 2-tap. You know, there's that feeling when they just drop and you're like, please, please, please. Oh, yes, he's double tapped. They're gone. They're done. The Thanos snap or the Kang Bang?
The Kang Bang is the most satisfying, but I like the art of the Hela spikes. Ooh. So like artistically spikes, But like, man, when you get that Kanban, you just wipe the entire team. It's like, yeah, that feels good.
Oh, it's just like, wow. And then you see it up and they're just like, oh, god damn.
Yeah.
If they could throw just a little bit of blood in there, but that's fine, whatever. I'll take the animation from Hela. Hela is still, they made Hela relevant again. It was pretty fucking crazy that they did. The Thanos snap, when I first did it, I was just like, wow. I need to do this on 1X.
Yeah. Forgive me. You're an envoy, correct?
No.
No. Oh, okay.
No.
Never mind then. I for some reason thought you were.
No, I'm just around a lot of them, and we're friends.
Okay.
So,
I was gonna ask you about the whole Juggernaut thing, the zombie Juggernaut.
Oh, yeah,
I guess we'll have to wait on that.
In terms of what? It's gonna be DPC, so we know that.
Oh, I know that. I just how I've heard, like, okay, so Zombie Iron Man is quite relevant, even though like at 1 or 2 stars or whatever you've got him at. Like super low stars, he's actually still pretty good. I've heard with Juggernaut, you're probably going to need to actually build him up to pretty high levels to get the same kind of value out of him. And I was just wondering if you knew more about that, but
it's more of his kit where it says revive and stuff. It's not similar to Zim. If it was where he would just keep reviving when Hela was there, he's got to have the charge. So it's like, oh fuck. But he's got monstrous moves, and you just want to see him come over and just beat the crap out of people. So I'm excited for it. It's a 3-piece team. I'm hoping that he's good all over the place, so that way we go, yes, this is cool. It's not just war, because they're fantastic in war, but I would love to use them in Crucible against somebody else where they're going, oh, well, you fucking hit Juggernaut. Bye-bye. Goodbye. Juggernaut's come and just destroy you. But we're gonna wait to see what he does. Hopefully they don't have to, they're not gonna scroll back or anything like that. So it's like, whatever. It's okay. One of the best finishing anime. Yeah, it is. Do you like OG Hulk's throwing animation? One where he like throws you down and then he's like, bye.
Oh, yes. I was like, I can't even picture that. Yeah, no, that's a good one for sure. I just saw it, I was on stream when I saw it for the first time, where Black Cat walks up and just like kicks you in the nuts, and I just fucking
she kicks you in the nuts.
All right.
Like,
I think she walked up and kicked Apocalypse. I'm like, all right, I didn't think I'd ever see that in my life, but sure.
Yeah, well, it happened, and this game didn't want to. They didn't want to let us not have it, so it was good. She's a villain. I guess this does what it's supposed to do, but whatever. But
it was effective.
Yep, it was effective. Mongooli, it was amazing having you on the show. You are amazing on YouTube, dude. We definitely gonna have to talk off stream.
For sure.
We could branch up together, figure out what to do, have some fun there. I'm partial to a Chicago typewriter. Oh god damn. fucking Bilbo. Love you, Bilbo.
That's a Tommy gun.
Yeah, well, we got it from Noir. We got the little Tommy gun thing. That I'll give him that. Noir has some cool animations. I'll give him that.
He looks good.
But he does look good. No, he doesn't do anything. He's just there. But Bilbo swears up and down every street corner, everything. He's got hats. He's got freaking clothes to wear. He's doing everything. So, but go check out Mongooli on YouTube. You want to do that right now. Go ahead and follow him. Let him know what's up with his videos. Pick a favorite video for him. The late night one you will get a kick out of, because it's just basically raw freaking Mongooli. But is there anything you want to promote going out today?
Actually, yes. This next Tuesday is my anniversary bash. It's the 1 year of me starting on YouTube, as well as my birthday is October 4th. So I'm going to have a couple people on there, including Zero Cool. Can't even pronounce your name right. Wow, that's promotion.
I don't mind being cool.
Cool. Run 7's going to come by, Bendable Straws, and Community Manager Archangel. So if you want to come by and hang out with that could be a lot of fun. If you got any questions for any of those guys and you can't make it live, it will be on YouTube. You can leave a comment down below. You can join the Discord, leave a question there. Let me know. As long as it's, a decent question, I'll ask Manager Archangel, or I'll ask one of the other guys. So that should be a lot of fun. And I just hit affiliate, so I've got all the stuff set up to some level, but not as nice as it is here. So hopefully we can figure that all out, and it's not a huge technological barrier, but should be a good time. Should be a lot of fun.
you'll once you do it once, you're like, oh yeah, I know what I'm gonna start doing. But if you got the part with me where you're going, I really don't like the way this comes in right away. I gotta. It's just annoying me. I don't know why. It's just 1 second. They won't notice it, but you will. And you're like, nope, that video's got to come down for a minute. I gotta put a different channel point. It's got to fix it, do something, because I have a lot. And once you learn how to mess with it, it's like, ooh, this is great. And then the emotes part too. I've never had Twitch check any of mine, so I don't know how that is. People say they gotta wait for Twitch to approve their things. I'm like, I got all kinds of freaking emotes all over the place, and they just go right through, and then they're on. Like, I guess. But then again, depending on what you're doing, depending on what you're trying to show.
I made one emote that's literally just my face, and it's just like shaking. It's like rage or something like that. And like they approved it within like an hour or something. Like it was up real quick. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. That's an easy process. So, as I said, this is all kind of still new to me, so we're figuring it out, but it's fun.
It'll be a blast, dude. I will swing by, and we will have a beautiful freaking time. So looking forward to it next Tuesday.
Awesome. Sounds good.
All right, guys. I will be back in Twitch stream in a few minutes. I'm probably going to be muted for like 30 or 40 seconds, but whatever. I'm going to talk to Mongooli really fast, but you guys get to see a YouTube ending, and then we'll transfer back over to the game, because I don't know why the game isn't freaking starting for me again. I tried to restart this sucker, and it says no. So I'm going to figure that out too, but make sure to like, share, subscribe on YouTube, and let me know what we did wrong, and then we're going to have somebody in chat tell you, no, we didn't do anything wrong. So, but until the next one, y'all, I'm rolling out. This is your cool Mongooli. Laters.
Have a good night, guys.
You can hear me, they can't hear us. Yeah, when I transfer back over to it for Discord, when I go back to the other scene, I got the Discord thing turned off, so that way they can't hear. But